another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
And hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Woo! Hello to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers. What's your tea? What's your tea? What's your tea? And it's another glorious evening, my darlings. I know you have all of your crumpets together. Why? Because it's time. It's time to dish tea. And you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat. What's going on, babies? Oh, listen. We're coming in a little late today because we were on set, darling. We were using over at Aunt Nikki's house. And we had created a set that we were filming, honey. We got some new things coming down the pipeline. And y'all remember Fresh Nemesis, honey, who was on the show? Child, he came over and we were recording some things for him and helping him out get this little thing that he got going on. We can't get into it specifically, but we got some new stuff coming down the pipeline, honey. So all three of us, myself, Aunt Nikki, Big Red, we were all together working on this project and carrying on. So, honey, that's why we're coming in a little later than what we usually do on Friday evenings, okay? However, having said all that, darling, after we got through with all this, now we were sitting up here trying to get together and come up in here, baby. Red and I got up because we finna get a leave because I had to come. Miss May was still in the shop and things, so he was finna bring me home. Baby, open up the damn door, honey, and it looked like the sky just opened up and the angels cried and everybody wept, honey. And possibly Gabriel, honey, had did something because we had a little bit of lightning. Charlie, it was raining cats and dogs over in here. We were like, okay, what is the problem? What is the problem? So now, my feet are a little wet, not much. The bottom of my pants have gotten wet and shit. So, that's where we are. So this is why we are here coming at y'all at 9:45 versus 9 o'clock, okay? So we're going to get into a few things up in here today. And all of that. Red is in transit, so he's still trying to get home, okay? So do know that when he gets up in here, that we're going to bring him on up in and things of that nature, okay? Now, hold on. Because I got my libation. My libation is just plain on water right now, child. I got to sit down here and do a systems cleanse and things of that nature. We are looking to, y'all heard me say I've gained this damn 60 pounds over the 3 years I was in school and things of that nature, 20 pounds a year. So, honey, I'm looking to I got to take it all back off because being over 50 now, this weight is not being conducive for me. It's not being as friendly as I would like for it to be, okay? I mean, I still look good. Now, don't get it twisted, okay? Y'all know I don't mind being a big guy. I've been big all my life. At the same time, as I'm getting older, we want to make sure that I'm at my optimum. So I don't want to just be good, honey. I need to be my optimum. Okay? Y'all remember that Optimum Perm that Miss Anita Baker used to sport, honey? That Optimum, honey, Perm had that hair right together. Well, honey, I need to be at my optimum health, not just good, not my best, my optimum, so that we can sit down here and make some things happen. You understand? And it's a lot of mouth service on my end. I've been doing a lot of talking. Well, now it's time for me to do what Ian Van Zant would say, honey. It's time for you to do your work. Okay, do your damn work, not on my watch. Okay, so I've got to do my work, honey, and a lot of that y'all will hear me saying this for. This half of the year, honey. My mantra is I cancel depression. Okay, since we're in the council culture, I cancel depression, and I cancel limitations, and I cancel all of the things that are in the way of me doing that, honey, and I'm reclaiming my life. Okay, so those are the things that you would hear me say that often, so that I can get the mantra going, and be like the little engine that could, honey. I think I can. I think I can. No, I know I can. I know I can. No, I am because I did. I will and I did. So that there was that. Nick, you ready to come on up in here with the children? Okay, she about ready. She done put a head wrap on the thing. Honey, looking glamorous. Got these cheekbones going.
Y'all see that?
Cheekbone. Okay, right.
Not a highlighter inside, honey.
Okay.
Listen,
I love it.
y'all see, I'm looking. The face is bare. Not a lash in sight. Not a nothing.
Okay.
I just told y'all we've been in here filming. And I thought I was going to be over there on the little set that we created. But if y'all don't know, Mama been in here nursing this back, honey. And I'm on this heating pad. So please excuse the look like I'm cleaning my house attire.
Oh, stop. Okay.
That's what it look like. I'm not going to hold y'all. Y'all know I keeps it very transparent with y'all. We is tired. I pushed through. And we had a good time today.
We had a real good time. Real good time.
We had a really
Funny
good
shit
time.
coming up. Y'all, it's some real funny stuff coming up.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not saying it because we did it, honey. It's just that the shit is funny.
Listen, it's so funny that we can't hold it together.
Right. And then it's off the riff funny. It wasn't like it was scripted or nothing. It's off the riff funny. So, child, we got some good stuff coming.
Anytime you can make Big Red laugh.
Right.
When you can make Big Red laugh, you know you got some funny shit.
Exactly.
Red had to keep turning around to the wall.
Yeah, because we were trying to hold in the laugh and shit so you wouldn't fuck up the sound. Oh, child. Okay. That was hurting.
Yeah, we got some treats coming through for y'all. It was simply amazing. It wasn't what we thought we were going to film today, but instead of wasting the time, we showed up and showed out.
Exactly. Okay. Tracy said, "Come through, Big Meat." Okay, we trying to do that, honey. Hey, cuz. Okay, what's going on, baby? Miss Danielle Adams Williams, honey. Oh yeah, that's why she's married. Okay, and she hyphenated, huh?
Yes,
okay.
Me too, girl.
Okay, hey Tony, what's up, darling? Tony.
Hi, Tony.
I need put your link up here to your jewelry up in here, my darling. Put your link up in here. Okay, so we can show it off. He has he's one of those independent jewelry brokers. And a lot of the pieces are like $5 and things of that nature. Oh,
does it do it through what's the name of it? Because my cousin Sherry does it too. Remember the pieces that I wore?
I think so, yeah. He has some beautiful.
The pieces that I wore when we went to the Atlanta's Actors Awards.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We having some nice stuff.
I
don't know if you got my camera.
Hey, Nay. Okay, we can't either, Chad. Because I can see how
you see your stuff. You can't see your stuff, but your husband saw some of it.
Okay.
Hey, princess.
Okay, what's going on? Okay. Yes.
Girl, some of your pieces came
good
in the mail
evening.
while we was in the middle of shooting day.
Okay. Yes. You looking fabulous, darling.
Thank
you,
Thank you.
What's up? What?
Brother. I see all day, and I usually at least see him over there to the other street.
All right, shout out to the village. Okay.
We was filming all day today, Buck, so I ain't seen nobody over there. I was only for a couple seconds. That was it.
What be happening? Okay, so we got some of the earlier comments done and out of the way at the moment.
Okay.
But here we want to get into a couple of things, and I think I want to start here because let me go ahead on and get this on out the way.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick before we get deep into our stuff. Did you get the Alo Nana commercial?
I got to, yeah.
Okay, so if you can, somewhere throughout the night, can we show it to the people?
Yeah, we can.
We're gonna remake it though, y'all, because I got to
put it. I got to put it in the queue. So okay, that there was cute. But listen, I'm going to play this clip. I played it one time before because it is the trailer to this new movie, or documentary rather, that is coming out. Okay. What you say? Y'all niece over here chilling. She just woke up. Okay.
When I called yesterday,
the little bugaboo, honey.
She was just so sleep on her mom's shoulders. Her mama.
Okay.
The grandma.
I'm gonna play this because it has now been released. Okay. I've ordered a copy, and I know a lot of y'all will probably say, why would you invest in something that you don't necessarily believe in? Well, one of the things is this. I'm doing it because, see, part of the research that I want to do is to make sure that I am on their turf. It was $30 for the movie or the DVD. It should be here to me tomorrow. So when I get it, if I don't get it tomorrow, we will be watching this thing sometime. And I'm going to give an assessment of it. And I'm going to be very honest. Y'all know I like to be as honest as possible without throwing in any biases or carrying on. But I'm telling you now, I know this movie is going to fucking piss me off.
Which movie is it?
Okay. It's going to piss me off because I already know that the people in it, you got the strong power to the people, children, and carrying on. And every time we deal with this particular subject, it always turns into this one particular thing. And what pisses me off even further is that when it turns into this one particular thing, it's always talked about from this particular avenue. Okay. And then you start to talk out both sides of your fucking mouth. And let me play the clip. Okay. I'm going to play the clip and then I'll get into it. Okay. Let's do this.
When we talk about buck breaking, we have to understand that buck breaking is a show of power. It's a show of dominance. So we can't talk about buck breaking without talking about power.
When we look at the domination of Black people by the dominant society, what we are in essence seeing is that this society wants to ensure that we are not able to actually mete out that thing that makes humans exist. And that is creating families and procreating.
See, psychologically, when we're talking about the sexualizing of our people, primarily from the dominant society or the system of white supremacy, it had to be established in a very impinging way from the mental state.
This whole notion that masculinity is somehow toxic and detrimental to society is nothing but an attempt to emasculate Black malehood.
It's clearly an agenda. If you have two eyes in your head and you're able to see, you can see that it's an agenda, and it's an agenda to decrease our population.
It's always been about destroying the Black family. The family is the foundation of a people.
The heterosexual Black male is last on the pecking order here in America. If you're just a heterosexual Black man, how are you gonna beat the case? Because when you show up to court, when you show up to the job interview, when you show up to wherever, you coming in here as a heterosexual Black man, you have no power.
When Mark Twain confessed that we white people ground the manhood out of the Negro. Why ground the manhood out of the Negro? Because it's Black masculinity that most exposes the fraud of white masculinity.
We, as the progenitors of culture, the ones who are the fathers and mothers of civilizations, who taught all people, who people look to for social cues, whether they want to realize it or not, I think they feel if they can get us to adapt to it, they can get everybody to adapt to.
If anybody should have a problem with European males, it should be the European female. Because everything the European male has ever learned to do to us, he first practiced on his own woman.
We need resources in education, we need resources in labor, we need resources in politics, we need resources in medical, we need resources in so many things, but they ignore that and they put millions and even billions of dollars to tell us that you need to really embrace your LBGT side. So these people have an agenda, and it's up to us to understand what the agenda is.
Mm-hmm. So that there is the official trailer to the movie Buck Breaking, the documentary that that's new to the Tariq Nasheed litany of.
I was getting ready to say that. I didn't know it was Tariq Nasheed. I wasn't looking at the credits, but I did see that it was very hidden colorish. I mean, I love hidden colors. I did, so don't let me.
Yeah.
But Tariq Nasheed,
Yeah, the Hidden Colors series was a pretty good series, but at the same time, again, we get to a certain point, and then after that, when you're trying to disseminate information, then it becomes into this whole big ass thing of it's no longer information. Now you're sitting up there trying to make judgment calls and this, that, and the other. Okay. And
you
that
already
there,
you guys know when it came to Hidden Colors, I loved it. I loved all of those things, except for when you turn around and tell me all these things about our blackness, but your whole crew was white. So then Tariq, I don't rock with you for those reasons. You want to tell us all about our blackness, and yes, your buddy, y'all know who I got a love-hate relationship with. Dr. Umar, when y'all weren't buddies no more, he let your tea spill, and your tea was you did all that talking about black. You had all the power to the people on the films, and it was very educational. But how about behind them scenes? Nobody that looked like us was on them cameras, on them lights, running to get no water. I got an issue with that, sir. So sorry.
Okay, and again, okay. Tracy, you said I just got finished watching Judge Joe Brown. Really?
Oh Lord.
He's saying the same thing. Well, from what I'm understanding, Judge Joe Brown is in this particular film. Okay. And well, I have this love-hate relationship with the right judge, child. And carrying on. I just know I was watching an interview. Haji, y'all know Haji, honey. He comes in here from time to time.
They drive us crazy.
Right. Haji has sent me a recent interview with Tariq on somebody's program on YouTube. And within this particular program, they were talking about the release of the movie. And he went on, when we talk about the whole emasculating black men and carrying on, it's more than just a gay thing, okay? Which I'm glad he said. Now, in this interview, he also made mention that he makes a difference between when he say LGBT, he always stresses that he's talking white LGBT. Okay. And that there is very significant because I'm listening to your words. Okay. But all of the images that you show of LGBT, when you're talking about something, they are trying to emasculate the black man. You always got black LGBT out there who are always the most feminine. You'll never talk about the masculine portions of the culture. And that's where I have a problem with a lot of this. And then, of course, we get into all of the whole rigmarole of, what is supposed to be the legacy and the embodiment of what black masculinity is. I mean, hell, you heard the brother sit up there and say he's from the nation. Sit up there, the whole idea that black masculinity brings out the fraud in white masculinity. When the whole thing of it is, okay, what is the difference between black masculinity and white masculinity? If it's all of this is about being a man to begin with, explain to me what are the differences if we're just talking masculinity. Because if you're saying LGBTQ and this, that, and the other is a threat to masculinity, then how is it a threat to only black masculinity and not white masculinity? And I know I'm talking in riddles and carrying on. I have not yet seen the film, but when I do, these are going to be some of the questions that I'm going to have to see if how they answer this. And then the biggest thing that I keep saying and throwing out there is that what is supposed to be the definition of what a strong black man is supposed to be, where we have sat down there and we hate when our Caucasian or European counterparts, look at us as far as big bucks, okay? We hate the comparison, but everything that you say is supposed to be strong and uplifting about the black man is all slave talk. He's big, he's strong, he's intelligent, he's takes care of his family, knows how to treat his woman, and if you've not seen the interview that I've done with Brother Umar Johnson, yeah, that was our basic conversation. And he basically said I couldn't be a man because I don't sleep with women. And because I don't sleep with women to make her happy or to keep her happy or whatever, then I can never be a true man.
Now hold on, because let's play that game with them. Because then when we have one of our trans sisters or brothers, you will turn right around and say that's not what you was born. You were born a man.
Right.
You were born a woman. So which one is it? Y'all know I love to play devil's advocate now. Make up your mind.
Right.
Talking out of both sides of your mouth. Get it together.
And that's the part. So I know that this particular documentary I know it's going to piss me off, because a lot of the people in the documentary are huge anti alphabet children. Okay. And I know the shit that's going to come out their damn mouth, honey, is going to be insightful. Okay, let me bring Derek up in, because Derek came.
Hey!
What's up, my darling? What's your tea?
Let me tell you something, honey. I've been in this spiritual place today, and when you brought now, let me rectify stuff there. I'm in a spiritual place every day. I was just in a higher spiritual. Okay. Oh, I want y'all get it twisted. Well, when you was playing this thing, the first thing came to my mind was, it is 2021. Let's stop focusing so much on when we show up and focus more on how we show up.
Oh,
you better come on through here. Well, the way you just showed up, honey.
That's a mic drop moment right there.
You just showed up and showed out. You only
that's a mic
you get mad at the man because you know you're going to show up, but you're not worried about how you showed up. You showing up in court with no lawyer. Child, shut the hell up.
Come on.
You showing up in court with your pants down around your ass. With your cell phone still turned on. Stop focusing on when you show up, because you know you're going to show up. You need to focus on how you're going to show up.
Yeah, so when you show up with your pants sagging off your ass, and even if you do have hair, when you go in there with your uncombed hair, and I'm not talking about like if you got dreads or locks or whatever you want to call it.
We know the difference.
Right. It's about being, you can have your fro. But why you don't want to look good? When people, like, they killing me with this, oh, I want to be natural. There's nothing wrong with being natural. But you know when you look a mess in the mirror and when you don't.
You know the difference between being natural and having a natural hairstyle versus getting up, and I'm still seeing the lint from your motherfucking pillows in your head.
Come on, because it's hard to be natural. I'm going to tell y'all.
Okay.
When people always be like, Nikki, how you say all this, empowerment stuff and whatnot, and you be having weaves and stuff in your hair. Let me tell you something about what's under the hair. It is all natural under here, and it's down my damn back. And do you understand how hard it is?
Okay.
To maintain all natural hair. No, I'm not just getting up and walking out the damn door. My hair looking a mess. I'm not. So I choose to protect my natural hair and braid it up and do what I do over top of it. You can't take my blackness away from me, because when we talk about the hair and stuff like that, baby, you better do your damn history. Because over there back then in Africa and stuff, baby, we were wearing wigs. We absolutely were. Do your history. Men and women, the pharaohs and the queens, we were wearing wigs. Don't tell me what to do with mine. Worry about yours.
How about that? Y'all keep talking. I got
and I wanted to say, my thing is, this guy makes a point that because I'm gay or whatever. Now here we go, honey. We're gonna have some fun on here tonight.
Come on. Trying to tell you. Because I'm in pain, so I need y'all to keep me very entertained.
You telling me that you're saying that if I'm a man and because I'm gay, because I'm a man, I can't please a woman. Honey, I know heterosexual men who can't please a woman.
Come on, somebody.
So does that mean they're not men?
Come on, somebody, because then I know because I know a couple of them that must not be men. Then I'm just saying.
Okay, so talk, honey. Talk to me, honey. My ears are listening, honey, because you're saying stuff and you're not thinking about what you're saying. Because, honey, I got the answer for you. I got the answer for you.
Let me tell you this though. When it comes to that stuff and them talking about agendas and stuff like that, sometimes parts of me feel like it could be. So I think that because just like with everything else, now all of a sudden it feels like it's a fad to be gay.
See, what you know what?
So I'm just saying, because if there's a big difference, as y'all like to say, y'all know these are my brothers and my sisters when they at work, when they dress, when they do their other job. But there's a big difference in what we would call older queens than the young ones. Now, what I see in the people that I know that were older, like even older than me, I remember, like I always tell y'all about my cousin Lenny. My cousin Lenny and my mom's friends and all of, it was a whole bunch. It was like they was their own little gang, honey. Some of them was butch queens and some of them was queens and some of them was either one depending on the day, like the little boy on Pose. He was like a butch queen, but he could get on and throw them heels and stuff on and do, you know what I'm saying? And when I think about growing up around them, and when I think about the younger ones now, it's a total difference. It's a total difference. And it's like I said the other day, I was on Beagle and I heard this guy, I don't know exactly how old he was because he wasn't cammed up, but he was really, really over the top and really, really disrespectful, like with the mouth, as somebody who was not coming at him that way. Now, because he wasn't cammed up and the name was kind of unisex, so I'm saying him because I don't know what they identify as, and they weren't cammed up, and the name was kind of one. It was one of the ones where it could be either one. So I'm just saying him just because I think. But the person wasn't being disrespectful to them in any kind of way. They were talking to somebody else, and he was one of those people that just like to go in on people for no particular reason.
Right.
And that shit is really annoying to me. And I'm seeing that that's a lot. And you guys know me and Beach live here in Atlanta. I see that on social media and outside as well. That's not something I grew up seeing. It wasn't like my cousin and them were trying to hide, because it was never that. Like, everybody knew who my cousin was. It was like, first of all, y'all knew who my cousin was because he was the best goddamn booster in the city. I'm just saying.
You benefited from it. Come on, tell it like it is.
Come on.
They knew who he was because they benefited from it. And it was something that he could offer them, and he cool as long as they got the benefit.
Always in that benefit. So for me, I never seen nobody like outright disrespect him. Like, if somebody got mad at him for something, whatever it might have been, then you might hear them call him out his name. Because I did hear that one time somebody called him the F word, and he said, and this motherfucking will fuck you up too. So what you want to do? Because these still some man hands. What's up? And I was like, oh, somebody about to get their ass whooped.
All day?
But it's a big difference.
All day. Leah says, no, you got a point. I want to see that too. Why would the LGBT community be a threat to only to black masculinity and not white masculinity? Wouldn't the white men be also threatened by the LGBT community from a procreation perspective? Would be interesting to see what he says. I'm encouraged. Listen, y'all, I have to. The reason why it sounds like I'm pushing this movie, and maybe I am, because I don't like for us to go into anything not having the education and the resources to understand what it is. If you're calling yourself going to fight your enemy, you have to understand who your enemy is. Now, I'm sure, and I'm gonna say this here because I don't want to get this misconstrued. I do not see Tariq Nasheed or Lord Jamar for that manner. And I'm saying his name because I know he is strongly
I don't
anti.
like Lord Jamar. I don't like him.
Okay, he's strongly anti alphabet. You know, Umar Johnson, I don't consider him an enemy. I don't consider the power to the people children. Let me put it that way, because y'all know I say that derogatorily. Okay, if that's such a word. But I say that because everything that comes out of their mouths, well, not everything, but what happens is they take you to a point, and then we get the brand of bullshit. Okay. And when they start blending in the bullshit, then it becomes, I cannot hear you because the bullshit starts to take over. Okay. And what I mean by that, I want y'all to hear me, because I'm not saying that they're not saying something that I just disagree with. What I'm saying that the bullshit come into play because what you claim you professing. Umar Johnson does this all the goddamn time. He will sit there and say, "Oh, I'm not against the LGBT community. I love the LGBT community. I say it's okay for you to be if that's what you're gonna do. I say okay. I'm not coming against my LGBT, the black LGBT community. I'm not coming against you." After he go through all this goddamn 2 minute soliloquy, he'll turn right the fuck around and sit down there and say, okay, but you can't teach in my schools, but you can't do this, and LGBT can't do that, and no, but there's a psychological disconnect with how are you going to sit down there? Well, as a psychologist, I always say this, and I know in my research, and I done proved this. You didn't prove shit.
You're full of shit, because if that was still true, or they thought it was still true, it would not been taken out of the DSM-4. The DSM books of mental illness. Remember, there was a time when they put homosexuality was in the DSM 4, 5, 6, 7. It was 4 when I first started studying. It's probably like about 6 now. It was considered, remember, to want to be interracially dating
Was a mental illness. That's
was
right.
a mental illness.
That's right.
To be a runaway slave was a mental illness. To be homosexual was a mental illness. Those things are not in there anymore because it's not a mental illness. Stop doing that and stop making kids think. That's the problem. That's why kids be ready to kill themselves, hiding and being in the closet forever long or whatever, and not feeling wanted because you make them think that something is the fuck wrong with them.
Right. And so when we have all of those particular things, that's what I mean when I say the brand of bullshit starts to intertwine with the message. Okay? Because I could deal with the message. The message, because hell, we're on the same page as far as the message is concerned. I don't have a problem with you saying that black masculinity is in peril because of the images that we have. I get that. Because we as gay folks say the same goddamn things. We say all the time, how come there can't be balance there? Only thing that the folks know about gay is this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know a lot of black gay men never do that.
Yes, we have a strong masculine appearing, masculine acting, side of the community that doesn't get the accolades. And a lot of it is because they're not into the fanfare. That shit don't matter.
When I just said, I wonder if it is some sort of agenda because it seems like now everybody's gay. This was one thing I thought about too one time. You ever see how like now, if you're not maybe socially accepted, and then you're gay. Now, do you think possibly some people because they feel like they are not accepted. Because I don't even know why this popped in my mind, but it's popped in my mind a few times about certain people.
Okay.
Certain people that I've come across, or certain people that I may have seen on social media and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel like you felt like you weren't accepted, or you might have been too big. So you feel like nobody wants you.
Don't do it now, because you know that's my story to tell.
You're not the most handsome, or somebody has made you believe that you're not, because that's another thing too. We're gonna go into that too. Because being handsome and looking pretty and stuff like that, baby, let me tell you something. Some of the people who you may think is not attractive, they got the most beautiful personality and they still attract every damn thing.
Right.
They get everything. People love them. They love to be around because it's their spirit. Their spirit is so pure. What somebody else told you this is supposed to look like don't even matter.
Right.
But I wondered sometimes if the rejection of what you were, or the space you were in that time, that terrible rejection, but then over here you saw, the LGBT, they're so happy and they don't care, and then all of a sudden, but I'm accepted over here. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, completely.
Because I sometimes I think about what you told us, because until you told me that, I think I had heard it before, but they had went over my head years ago when we talked about where the man's G-spot being in his prostate. So think about somebody who may have really had low self-esteem, blah blah blah, not accepted, blah 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 blah, but you accepted over here, and it may not even been what you thought was in the beginning, but then somebody felt that, and then hey, and now I'm accepted, and the sexual part came in, and I like that now too.
Well, here's the whole thing. See, one of the, and y'all heard me say this before, okay? And that the body is prepared and designed to react to stimulus, okay? The body is designed for that, okay? When you have someone, and this is why you hear this a lot with women, okay? Because lesbianism is still accepted, in society, because we're looking at society through a masculine eye, or a male-dominated eye. Okay, so we got feedback somewhere. Yeah, because I'm hearing myself. I'm echoing back.
It must be because we quiet over here, and
I don't know.
Derek, you quiet. It sounds like Derek quiet over there too. I don't think
that's you. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you hear it? Oh, wait a minute.
Let me mute. I'm gonna mute me and tell me.
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, that is you, Nick.
I don't know why, because there's nothing. Like Lily ain't even got nothing on.
I have no clue. It might be the cosmos. You know how they like to fuck with us.
Well, I'm gonna mute until I say something.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you in. I see you with your hand raised. Okay. Right. One of the things that we have. Wait a minute. Oh shit. What was I?
Hello, Derek.
Hey.
What was I saying? Oh, okay. I had to get back on my thought. We see this a lot because we see the world through a masculine lens. Okay, and I'm going to say a heterosexual masculine lens. The whole idea of lesbianism is still pretty much so accepted because of a man feeling he could dominate two women and this, that, and that. I mean, hell, that's why
this is a man's world.
Or him thinking that he can make her turn on back.
We're not so much, with that the fantasy that he can make her turn back. The whole thing of it is that it's the whole idea of having the harem. If I got these women here and they, I could be in the midst of them entertaining. Okay, it's
I think that was more before. Like I know when I was growing up and we thought about lesbians, it wasn't always because they used to use that horrible word.
Yeah,
it was lesbian or no, not even dying. Like I can say that. That shit right there. Those are the ones like we say dyke now. But
bull dagger, cat liquor. Carpet muncher.
It was the bulldagger thing for me. I was like, God damn, why I gotta sound so
Listen.
hard? But when you thought about it,
Don't say it no more. He gonna say it again. He gonna say it again because
Nope.
He gonna say it again because he know they get you.
Bulldagger.
And then, don't really get me. I just felt like it was so harsh. I thought it was such a harsh word to say.
Well, yeah. It's
like
because
me,
it sounds so disrespectful.
It was even harsher than saying the F word. Like, I really thought bulldagger.
What's the F word?
Faggot.
Faggot? What's wrong with faggot?
Boy, if you don't, you know what?
Wait, I love how.
Wait a minute. Look up the definition of faggot.
I mean, I know.
We know the definition, but
we know the
definition.
I'm sorry, no, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. A faggot is a plank of wood. Fag are cigarettes.
Exactly.
I was going to say, I thought it was like a tool or something.
No, a faggot.
But hold on. Here, hey, so what you're saying is,
you just got
a fag is a cigarette, and a faggot is a plank of wood.
Right.
And you need a plank of wood in order to penetrate certain situations in life.
And make somebody smoke a cigarette after.
So I don't see where you offended being a faggot. That makes you a strong piece of wood.
Well, gets the job done.
Bang, bang, bang. Skeet,
according to the intelligent, knowledgeable people, but according to society, that's not what a faggot is. Honey.
Right.
And unfortunately, most of us are around society. You're intelligent ass. I mean, we know you know, but goddamn.
Right.
So the people in the cheap seats.
Right. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Right.
But what I was trying to say was like, so if they said lesbians, it was that fantasy of two femme women.
I was just going to say the lipstick lesbians, right?
Lipstick lesbian. See, yeah, men can get with that, but you know nowadays.
No, but what if you got a homie, right? Like I got a homie. Let's say I got a homie, you know what I'm saying, and she got damn, you know what I'm saying, a straight up motherfucking nigga like me, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want her in your bed. Because this is like having another man in your bed.
But see, the thing you got to realize is, in today's time, a lot of the doms are not doms in the bedroom.
Right. Right. Right.
A whole lot of them, honey. So
hey, soon as they get, Derek, tell that shit, because soon as they get out of the shower,
listen, and a lot of that stems from, you know, sexual appetite, and this is where it gets a little that way, and everybody don't know how to, you know, everybody want labels and stuff to try to categorize it versus, you know, folks like what they like, but because we have all of that, the whole idea of lesbianism in our society still has some kind of it's an easier
like the lore of
right.
It's still acceptable.
Right. And so because of that, you will hear women oftentimes go that whole back and forth kind of thing. Like what you're talking about, they may have found somebody to love for them and care for them and carry it on and be treated a certain way. And because they felt good sexually on top of it, you will hear women say, "Oh, I was confused," and blah blah blah. But oftentimes you hear women say a lot, "Oh, I've experimented, but I left it alone."
Right. And y'all
you
just
would never.
FYI on that. So there was a whole stud who went over to Carbonation recently. She's wearing a dress, and Nature Boy done gave her to one of the tribe members. She's
right.
a whole girl. Child, her mother aired her ass out on YouTube. She said, "This what you look like when you left here. Now all of a sudden you a girl."
Right.
Her mother
whatever that is.
Her mother was not with the shit. She said, "You gonna be who you gonna be." Now I love you either way, but you gonna be who you gonna be. Now all of a sudden you over there, you don't listen to this fool tell you, and now you want to be girly. She put up and
you know what? And one of the things that happens, because this happens to a lot of the aggressive girls or the dominants or whatever, because we have allowed the labels to be the labels. Some of them are dominant and aggressive, but a lot of them are not necessarily butch and boys.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Remember, I had to get that from my girls.
They're not that way.
They want to be girly.
Right. But they don't want to be dudes neither. Wait a minute.
I had to get with that because I wasn't sure. when I realized they didn't want to be girly, in my head, I thought they wanted to be transgender. And I was wrong. And I had to check myself because I was like, well, what the hell? Like, I don't get this. Now, is you a girl or you're not a girl? What the hell are we trying to do here? And, you know, I really did. I had to check myself about it because I didn't understand at the time.
Right.
I didn't understand.
Derek got the answer. Derek, what were you saying?
I'm a girl. I'm just a girl that like pussy. I don't want to be a boy. I want to be a girl that lickety split.
You know, and a lot of
that they don't want to be girly, and they don't want to be like a boy.
But they don't want nobody to think that because they're a lesbian, they want to be a boy.
Exactly, and that there is where we have a lot of the banter. But we could accept that from women. When it comes down to masculinity and carrying on,
I don't care about no woman liking no pussy, bro. That's like in the door we got something in common, bro.
Well, I like that, Leia. She said, "Wait a minute, what you say?" It's like being a tomboy, only we like girls.
And that's exactly yes. Because when I had to figure it out, and I was like, and this was me in my head. Everybody knows I never cared when my daughter came out and told me they was gay. But in my motherly head, I had a bunch of sons. So I didn't want 5 sons. I had 2 daughters and 3 sons. So I was like, no. And they was like, Mom, don't nobody want to be no boy. I'm like, but y'all won't dress like girls either. I was like,
hey, all I know is when I was coming up, when I was coming up, Nikki, when I was coming up, right, in that time, that same time frame you speaking on with the girls, and I was doggone, you know what I'm saying, got there finding out what it was, and I was knocking down every little version or whatever I want to do. I had a few tomboys in between there. You know what I'm saying? They out in the street, whole niggas, knocking niggas out. But goddamn it, when I caught their ass up down in that bedroom of mine.
I was getting ready to say, Keisha, go ahead, boyfriends. Boyfriends. They've lived.
I like tomboy pussy.
They lived. They have lived. But
hey, that's a new term, tomboy pussy. I like that.
I just was like, you know, somebody asked me how would I feel. Somebody asked me how would I feel if one of my sons was gay. And I said, this is funny because I'd be mad that my daughters don't act like girly girls. So if it was one of my sons, I probably would want him to be the flamboyant one because I just want to be able to go hang out and get my hair done and my nails done. And Kiki would. They was like, really? I said, I don't know why, but I think so. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what? This is that psychological shit. Did y'all take psychology?
You know what I did? I worked at mental health for 20 years.
Okay, well then you understand that you're gay on the inside.
I think I get
Okay. Now hold on.
Didn't I say can we have a straight drag show?
Yeah.
Because I want to be overly that I want to do it. I want to get full drag. I asked him that a few months ago.
That's the end thing now in our arena. A lot of heterosexual women, born, bred, everything, are doing drag now.
Yeah,
right. Remember, Mitch? I was asking. I was like, "Can we do that? Is we allowed to do it?" Because I've been fascinated with it ever since I got.
They so over the top with the makeup, Nikki. The makeup is so over the top. It's crazy. I've seen the show.
Saying, like, we've been to Lips together, sir. Remember? Look,
I'm talking about the doggone heterosexual drag.
Yeah,
they really take it.
That's
well,
what it is.
They take it over the top because for them. To see a biological woman in drag makeup is a lot, you know, because it's like, bitch, what are you doing, honey? It doesn't require all that. They don't have to build cheekbones and all that. It's already there. So when you got somebody who, y'all seen some of these children, honey, when they look like somebody just knocked them in the face because they got all this blush on, and you know, they drew all these damn McDonald arches on their eyebrows and carrying on. It becomes, but it's over the top because a lot of it, for those who do performance pieces, we do have we do that is an art form.
I was going to say, to me, it's art. That's why I like it. It's so over the top. It's artistry to me. When I sat there and watched, I think it'd be back when RuPaul's Drag Race started, and I got to see the.
Nikki, you gay?
Okay, I don't want no woman though.
You got it.
I'm gay, but I want a man.
So what? I just said you was happy. You had them 4 times.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't have a problem with it. I'm telling you, I know it's a gay man inside of me somewhere, and me.
It's a gay man inside of you.
Yeah,
Watch out. Hush.
Hey.
Anyway.
How did he get there?
Derek, I hate
Listen,
but see,
the
you know
buck
what?
breaking movie.
There are different levels to drag makeup, and most heterosexual women think that drag makeup is only over the top.
Right.
That was what drag makeup started out as
Right.
at the beginning. It was. I mean, and to be honest with you, when it first started out, let's be real, ain't none of them niggas look like no woman. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
They didn't have body. They didn't have titties in. They had on these wigs. Some of them came out. They still weren't fully shaved. But now you have drag queens that give you what you call an everyday face. That face look just like the sister who getting up and lightly brushing that.
I was getting ready to say, like, when you look at Pose and you see Blanca and Angel. I mean, even Electra's over the top, but it's not over the top drag, really. When you think about Electra's look,
because they're not drag queens,
right? So it's
but
like
they're not drag queens.
It's just regular makeup. You're just living as a woman, and it's regular makeup. So when I say I want to be able to do the thing, no, I don't wear makeup, but I love the art form of female illusionists. Derek got me saying, let's stop saying drag because Derek said y'all ain't dragging me no motherfucker.
Okay. Well, the whole idea. So all of that, and yeah, see, this has many layers to it. But all of that, when we start to question Black masculinity, the way that they want to say in this particular piece, a lot of that happens because men do not have the luxury of saying, "Oh, I've experimented and I found out that this wasn't for me." Men don't have that luxury. So when it comes down to masculinity being questioned or this, that, and the other, this is why when we see documentaries and movies like this, it's always a goddamn problem. Men have never, y'all heard me say this many times, men have never had the opportunity to explore their bodies. We're never taught to explore our bodies to find out where our pleasure spots are, which is why whenever a new sensation happens, a man gets his whole makeup becomes challenged.
Because you're supposed to keep you a freak in your life, because she gonna find them spots.
Right, but if she finds those spots,
man is willing.
If the man is willing, because there's some spots that she will find, honey, that a lot of men will not be willing to accept because they're like, no, I ain't gay. Don't touch my ass. Don't do this. Don't do that, because of what they think it is, and it's not that. So a man has never been taught to understand his own body.
Think that too.
So you saying you would be more comfortable?
That's because people need to realize that heterosexuals do not have a monopoly on masculinity.
Exactly.
Come on.
Period.
Exactly.
And the thing that gets me, every time they talk about masculinity, you got to be straight. And then they started this thing out one way, but then it turned around to the gay community is destroying you. But make up your damn mind. First, it was the white men who was buck breaking you, and now you're making this a damn gay thing. What are we doing?
Right. And that's why this movie is an important piece.
Are you saying that the buck breaking is what made Black men gay?
I'm not going to say this what they're saying because I haven't watched it yet. What I want to say is, for long periods of time, they're saying that because the slave masters came in and wanted to break down the Black.
Yeah, I know how it goes because I've done papers on it, so I know
because of that, or trying to break the male spirit. To where now what we're having or what we're living in is the residual effects of that, because the Black male image has been is now being targeted, as you heard in the clip.
But hold on, me.
So why wait so long?
Why? Stop the fucking presses, because I am a thinker. You wasn't just taking no ass as soon as you start fucking with Black people. Okay, we're not gonna go there. You didn't come up with an idea. Nigga, you didn't come up with the idea to fuck Black. You want to ass fuck just because it's Black people you trying to break? You already knew how to ass break.
That's what I'm trying to say, Red. When you talk about in Roman times and stuff like that, and they took the little boys off to go to war, there was nobody but men. 8 years old, they left their parents, their mothers, they didn't come back because until they was already grown. Y'all was fucking them little boys. Y'all already know that. It don't have nothing to do with it. What I want to say is, if this is the residuals of what from the buck busting, why we just wait until this last decade for the explosion to be as big as it is, or for everybody. Because if that was the case, we should have seen way more of it a long time ago.
Well, a lot of it, what they're trying to attribute, according to just the pieces, and if you're just tuning in and don't know it, or if you are in or watching this on the replay and don't see the clip, is because I may have to take it out because they may try to ding me for copyright infringement, so I may have to cut it out. But it's up on YouTube. Just go Buck Breaking movie or documentary on YouTube, and you can see the trailer for the movie. But like I said, I just ordered it, so I should have it tomorrow because I ordered it off of Amazon. So it should
be. I need to know personally. I'm gonna ask you this question, Meech. All right. Would you feel more comfortable if grown ass men was around here saying, like, yeah, man, you know, I love, you know what I'm saying, my woman, you know what I'm saying, we've been together 20 years, but you know, before I was with her, you know, I sucked a few dicks. You know what I'm saying? What?
Listen, my whole thing is a lot of that, but I don't talk about my sex life like that, and I'm an open book. Okay.
Well, we know when you having a party. Okay, so go ahead.
The broadcast gets ended real early. The broadcast gets ended real early. I don't know what's going on. We started late, so I don't know how long this show gonna go on tonight. Because I don't know what's going on around that corner. Because I ain't been around there. You know. But
sweet home Alabama.
Yes, honey. Is my baby here?
No, he's not here this week.
My baby flashed me the other day.
Okay, but no. But what I would prefer is that men are able to be as free as they make. I wish that straight men were as free as they hate gay men being. I hate that they hate feminine gay men being. Okay. Because feminine gay men are very ostentatious and they're very over the top and they're very in your face. Okay. Now, it's debatable if that's a likable term or not, because some of them, they're just people who are just entirely too motherfucking much. Okay.
Yeah, but today you witnessed. Okay, here I'm glad you're saying what you're saying, right? What you're building up to, because today you witnessed a heterosexual man and his doggone style of comedy, where I was open on both sides of the fence.
Exactly. Right.
That's funny as hell too.
Exactly. And the thing of it is that to be that free, I want the documentary, and I'm hoping that this documentary will go there as far as understanding or talking about what it is to be a man. But everything that I know is going to say, because everything is leading up to it in the clips that I've seen, is that they're going to talk about the strong prowess of a black man. And y'all heard me say this on many a times. Back in the 70s, when when men went to work and come home and took care of families, and on Friday nights or Saturday nights, when they got into their glad rags and took their women out, it was a pride and a joy and a sense of togetherness that we had back then. It wasn't always about trying to knock somebody down and this, that, and the other, even though I did grow up in a household where to talk about any of the alphabet children, it was one of those things. You know, but they always talked about the children who were always girly. They were the faggots and carrying on. It wasn't, and those who were still masculine or whatever, it wasn't an issue because they didn't talk about them. Maybe because, and I'm saying this like this, maybe because they were not out and flamboyant and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? They were a little bit more solace, you know, and together and all of that. And they wasn't, you know, they were still, I won't even say they were closeted. I'm gonna say they were more private. You know,
the ones that were out and flamboyant and what are we going to call, I'm going to use the word boisterous in the community, were the ones that ran the doggone, the prostitute houses and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, you would only catch that flamboyancy at that spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you were there, they was at home You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They run the hen plant. They got that. They running that.
Right. Exactly.
So that's where you see that at back then. Even if you watch the movies,
right? Exactly.
You'll come across a character, and that character was always one that ran the house.
Right. And so because of that, back when we were kids, the idea of what a man was, it has changed over the years, because what we see our men being, I understand what the point is that they're trying to say. As far as, masculine men or the idea of black men and their prowess, a lot of this shit has gotten soft. We do got little punks and sissies and carrying on. And I don't mean it as far as a sexual orientation. I mean it because
you're not allowed to use the word punk.
No, because remember we talked about that before. For us, when we call people punk, we didn't mean it. Where I'm from, we didn't mean it as a sexual thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a sexual term. Because when I grew up in Chicago,
yeah,
you was a punk ass nigga. That means you just a weak ass nigga that can't fight.
You're weak. You can't fight. You or something. You had no sense of life about you. You're just sitting up here, just gliding through life and not taking care of responsibilities. That's what all that was for us.
Right, you punking out.
And we called each other punk. They was calling girls punk, boy. You was
now my father.
It didn't matter who you was, boy or girl.
I told y'all this before. My father made punk mean sexual orientation to me.
To you. Because when you think about the old,
which is why I say you're not allowed to use the word.
Right.
Remember, if you think about if you watch all the old mob movies and stuff like that, if they called the teenagers little punks, it was because they were doing bad shit,
right?
Fucking around and stuff. It wasn't about the sexual orientation,
and they wasn't as bad as they were puffing up to be.
Right.
Yeah. They wasn't all that bad. So that's what that was, And so now I get what they're saying, but I blame that on other black men because you have allowed that to be your mantra, to be a pimp, baller, shot caller. And y'all heard me say that before too. We have a whole generation of men who think that being a pimp and slinging dick means that I'm a man. Because I got 34 kids and 17 baby mamas, that means that I'm some kind of man. And yet I want to see if that's going to be.
Let's talk about the pimps that tie their shirts up in the front, like your mama did back in the day.
Oh, so you want to go there? With the pink hair curlers in the hair.
Yeah, let's talk about the pimp. Look like Saturday at the salon.
You play entirely too much.
No, I play for real.
Okay, wait a minute. Ever say this? He said the problem with the LGBTQIA communities is everyone can't fit under the label.
What's the P for?
Pansexual.
Oh, pansexual.
Yeah, remember we talked about pansexual.
Yeah. No, I was making sure it wasn't the other one because
No, hell no.
No. Matter of fact, if they added the other one, it would be an R for R. Kelly. But I'm saying you
okay. Anywho, let's see. Everybody can't fit up under the few umbrellas that have been used to brand us. People become afraid to be more or less than the noted brands for fear of judgment or acceptance. Okay, non-acceptance, right? And then he said, before there was slavery as we know it, there was Rome, honey.
That's what I just said.
Exactly.
Okay. Say it, honey.
That way.
Okay. One example of the head of the prostitution house you're referring to is the one character that I remember from A Rage in Harlem. Exactly. You know what? I'm glad you went. That was the first. That when you said that, I had that same image come up. That say, if they add one more letter to the list, I'm going to scream, girl. April, that's why I just say the damn alphabet, children, because what's happening is that they keep adding the goddamn letter, and I'm like, who is responsible for adding?
I said that, I was like, Niche, can we find out who's responsible for being able to add?
Hey, but hold on, don't bother them people, because eventually you're gonna be able to scramble it and make one word.
I'm like shit.
Okay.
Who's on the damn
Yeah,
list?
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Who gets to add accessories to the damn thing? I need to know what committee that is.
But you know what?
Okay.
I've noticed that the movie industry has always, 99.9% of the time, always gave you the impression that every gay man had to be fucking flamboyant, period.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah,
I mean, they just recently started showing masculine gay men on TV. I mean,
yeah, recently, but see, here is, and this is going to the movie because again, I understand the premise of what they're trying to get at. Okay, like I said, the message that they're saying is there's truth to the message because that we're starting to get a little bit of balance when we see masculine gay men or whatever. But why is it every time we see a masculine gay man, we don't see black on black love? We don't even see Latino on Latino. It's always an interracial couple, and it's always with a white character.
Hey, has everybody caught the new commercials? The new commercial trend?
Yeah,
Every fucking commercial trend is a blended family.
Oh
yeah, a blended family, and it's and they're interracial. Not just a blended family, they interracially blended.
Yeah.
Okay. Because all of the gay couples are interracially coupled.
Check the stereotype, because remember, it's always supposed to be a white woman and a black man.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, stop.
It's usually a white man.
We supposed to know this.
It's a white man with a black woman now.
We supposed to know this, Nikki. We supposed to know this.
What?
We talking about that busted and bronking and all that shit. Brokeback Mountain didn't have no niggas in it.
Sure didn't.
It didn't.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm one of probably the few people on earth who have never watched it. It had no what you call them to watch it. But
the Crying Game had a black man in it.
Listen, not because of what the movie was about. You guys, I'm a girly tomboy. So I don't like anything that's like chick flicky, romantic shit. I like shit blowing the fuck up, people getting shot, fast cars. I'm Fast and Furious, Marvel, DC. I'm that bitch. I don't like.
Yeah, and then let's catch it because see, again, to the credit to Buck Breaking the movie, because they're blaming a lot on Hollywood and saying that Hollywood is doing its damnness to destroy the image of black men. And we hear that all the time. But let's take Brokeback Mountain, the movie, and let's look at it for what it is, because that was considered to be a romantic comedy. No, it was a drama. Rather, it was a drama.
I was gonna say it was a drama. What's funny about? Well, never mind. Go ahead.
It was. Shut up, fool. It was dealing with the romance of the two guys and how that came to be. But what we did not address in that movie was how the wives that woman's wife felt. I mean, the man's wife felt. And this, that, and the other. We did not come to that, and a lot of us in the community, the alphabet community, it gets a lot of praise and this, that, and the other for being what it is. At the same time, it's not one of those movies that talk about the destroying the image of masculinity. They don't talk about that, and that's one movie that had two masculine guys.
Yeah.
Okay, neither one of them were considered to. Neither one of them were flamboyant or girly and carried on. Now, anytime we got a romantic comedy and we talk and they have gay characters in there of relationship, hell, both of them are always damn flamboyant.
Like In and Out with Tom Selleck.
Okay, In and Out. You have Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
Okay, the gay characters.
Bosom buddies.
And this I thought was a slap in the face, a low down dirty shame.
Oh, child, that you know what?
I was like,
hey, what did y'all think about? What did y'all think about 6 Degrees of Separation?
Oh, let me tell you about 6 Degrees of Separation.
I got my life off of that movie, honey.
I got my life off of it too, but the backstory to that. And I wish Will would redo it because he did it a disservice because he was too much in his head.
Oh, y'all talking about the one when he was supposed to have been
Sidney Poitier's son? Yeah.
Oh, I did see that. I didn't even remember that was the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 Degrees of Separation, and he did that movie a disservice because he accepted the role,
But then got worried about what
but
everybody
got worried about what it would look like. So at the time of the kiss, he admitted on Oprah. He said no, it wasn't. They faked the kiss, but he said I got as close to his lips as possible, and then did mwah kind of thing, you know. And of course, you know, it looked like they kissed. He said, but he didn't kiss the guy because in his head he didn't know, you know, what it was
the
going to be like
repercussions
in the
gonna be.
future, and this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah
You
blah.
can tell from when that guy kissed him on the red carpet. He slapped shit off.
Yeah, he did stuff that, but he should have.
Yeah, because like who the
He
hell?
should have because
You
that
still a stranger.
that boy, number one, a stranger. Number two, it wasn't asked for. Number three, you knew that was a motherfucking stunt because he would have been a blogger that sat up there and said, "See, I told y'all he was gay," and all that old bullshit. He should have knocked shit out his ass, which he did.
Well, that's because he had to protect what he really doing behind closed doors with his wife.
And
But
part
you
of
know
that, all of that
reaction
is
was
still up
so
under
genuine.
speculation.
That reaction was so genuine from Will. It was like that was a reflex because if it was something that he's so comfortable with,
right,
his reflex wouldn't have been as fast. I just believe that.
I think he's a big acceptor.
And the sad part about that is, and they still do it at this time.
Right.
There was really no need for them to have a heterosexual man play that damn part anyway.
How about that?
Yep.
Period.
Now that's the other thing about Hollywood, and that's the stuff that we talk about. And to the credit of the movie, that's something that they're trying to say. The gay characters and stuff. Okay, you have gay characters. Why not give those to gay actors? Why are we sitting up here allowing black heterosexual men, in order for them to have a career in Hollywood? You're telling them I can't have a career unless I do this.
That's
but
that.
think about this.
That's that breakdown.
More money, and
Right.
they'll get paid more money than the gay man playing the gay role.
And you have, and now to
But
the
think
credit
about
of the
this.
movie, I'm right there with them for that because they're absolutely right. They are absolutely right. But there's a caveat to it. There is a caveat, and the caveat is this: if I am an actor and I'm looking to stretch my acting muscles to see if I can and cannot effectively, take care of my craft or do my craft, there should not be. If I agree to the role, then why the hell is everybody else all in arms about it?
But here's the other thing. Let's talk about males and females when you're taking on a gay role. A woman who is heterosexual can take a gay role.
Right.
Nobody is ever going to question if she's gay or not. They're not going to care.
Oh, you know what? To say that because you're absolutely right.
A heterosexual man takes on a role that either is all on gay or homosexual or even hints of it. Everybody on the planet. Hey, Amy, everybody on the planet is questioning his sexuality.
Yeah, because
do not do it when it's women, but as soon as a man do something like that, you like, wait a damn minute.
Well, was
You know what?
Nikki, was there any write-ups?
But one person, I don't think that they questioned their sexuality as far as them playing the gay role was Ben Raines.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
Oh, honey, Holiday Heart.
Oh, Holiday Heart,
please.
yeah.
Yes, they did. He got over the coals for that. As a matter of fact, there's a radio interview that he was on, and the guy interviewing him was trying to be slick with answering this question, but you heard the implication in his voice about do you get a lot of backlash for playing a character you all up in a dress again? I'm playing a drag queen.
Yeah,
Did that affect your masculinity? And the guy said, did that affect your masculinity or something? And Vince up there told him, he said, no, it didn't affect my masculinity. He said, nigga, I'm still a man. I could take your woman from you.
Come on.
But it's always more questionable when the African American male played the gay role. Because when Dustin Hoffman played Tootsie, he didn't go through that shit.
Sure did.
No.
That's what I was going, Garrett. That's the point I was trying to make right there, because when they did the role to Wong Fu,
Wesley Snipes
went through that shit. But they didn't say nothing to Patrick.
They didn't say nothing to Patrick, nor did they say nothing to John.
The most flamboyant character in the fucking goddamn movie didn't even catch it.
Listen, but
Come on, Hairspray, John Travolta when he played the mother, the whole motherfucker.
No, they didn't.
No. But hold on. Let me put a preface on that. John Travolta didn't get the backlash because he had already gotten it years earlier. Okay, and he ended up coming out of that to where now he became the lovable John Travolta and carrying on, and he was just being a good actor and carrying on.
Yeah, but he gets to be a good actor.
He gets to be a good actor, and then knowing that in the movie Hairspray, the
favorite movies, y'all.
Okay, the original role was done by a drag queen because the original role was done by Divine.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So that there, everybody knew that, for those who knew the movie and carrying on the original, they knew that was a drag queen role and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Okay. And then when he was able to get up on TV and talk about him being a pilot and all this other shit, he wanted to exercise his role and it was offered to him. He turned it down. He didn't think, and then he thought about it and thought he could really do something with the role. Okay. And then with it being a musical and carrying on, it was something he can do. Okay. So he didn't get it. John Leguizamo. Well, a lot of folks thought that he was gay to begin with.
Yeah.
Because remember, what was the name of the comedy show that they did? The Latino, the Latino version of In Living Color that he had. What was the name of his comedy show? It was a sketch comedy thing that he did. I can't think of the name of it. Help me, Lord. I can't think of the name of it. Research department. Y'all tell me. Go look at what that name of that damn weekly comedy show that John Leguizamo was on.
Okay, so can I ask a question from when we were little? Did Flip Wilson get this? Did they fuck with him like
No,
that?
they didn't fuck with Flip because when Flip did it, Flip playing Geraldine, that was comedy. The devil made me do it.
The other people know who they are, don't they?
And this, that, and the other. So that was considered to be comedy because remember, back in the day, when women got up and when men got up in women's clothes, it was a joke anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so they was always laughing.
It was okay to imitate them then. Right. It was okay. So I'm like, when did it change? And when did like you like to come the power to the people kid? Because I know that I'm conscious, but some of this shit is just too much. Every damn thing that happens. Tyler Perry, I don't give a shit if Tyler Perry gay or not. Madea funny than a motherfucker. Like y'all could.
Okay.
Now,
Right.
me so much, I don't like the movies. But being it from theater and all of those stuff.
Right. You prefer the plays over the movies.
Right. And to hear him tell the stories of that was his mom, his aunties, and everything, everybody rolled into one, especially his mom.
Right.
And for him to be able to put that across, I didn't see it no different as Flip Wilson playing Geraldine.
Right. Okay.
How much backlash did Mario Lopez get for playing Greg Louganis?
Oh. Now that's good. That's real good because he didn't get any at all.
He not only played a gay man, he played a gay man that was HIV infected. How much backlash did Tom Hanks get for playing in Philadelphia?
But wait, but let's do this. Let's do this because there's a caveat to that. Okay. Part of the reason they didn't get a lot of backlash is because there were no sex scenes in those movies.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys always had this question because I couldn't never tell. I guess I never really cared. Robert Williams, was he gay or no?
No.
Okay, so ain't nobody question his ass in the birdcage, and that's one of my favorite movies too.
No, but
and that was a whole movie full of drag queens, and he was gay. He was the gay daddy.
Okay.
If y'all
the
name of that show
without giving me the profit.
The name of that show was House of Bugging.
Shut up, fool. Okay.
House of Bugging.
Okay.
That was that TV show that he was doing the skits on.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but a lot of that.
They want to go after what we would say, like you said, the African American male, and the ones who are like on the come up. Think about that. Because remember when what's his name? Brown Sugar. What's his name?
Who? Wesley?
Tay Diggs.
Tay.
Tay did what was the role he played on Broadway?
Oh, you talking about Hedwig? Yeah, and the angry.
They dug in his ass.
Yeah.
Did they?
Oh, honey, didn't because you know what?
Don't listen to. Did you hear him talking about did they? Did you hear the did they though?
This is what it was because it goes to that narrative. Here we have a black heterosexual man who have allowed Hollywood to tell him he can't make no money unless he's in a dress.
All right.
Did you ever see the what was that when they did the Family Matters reunion?
And
they talked to what's his name? What's Urkel name? Jalil?
Jalil White.
He said when they first asked him to do Myrtle, remember when he played
Murder Urkel,
he said he cried after. Like he literally cried because it tore him apart. Because he didn't understand as a young man that it would be okay. He said when they got into the latter seasons and they was trying to look for a way to go, he was the one who went back and said, if y'all want me to, I'll play Myrtle again.
Okay.
Because he knew what it would do for the ratings.
Right.
He played the hell out of Myrtle, honey. Myrtle.
Listen, now I'm gonna tell you.
I love when he played Stefan and Myrtle.
Listen, and as an actor, because did y'all see his uncensored?
I
don't know if I did.
He just did an uncensored on TV1, and he talked about that because in the beginning of that, he said that Joe Marie Payton and Reginald Vell Johnson had a strong disdain for him playing Myrtle. Okay, he said they had a strong disliking for that, and said that his father stepped up after he had got through with that role because he cried and his father told them. He said, "This is the one and only time that my son is doing this. Y'all got what y'all needed. We're done."
Yeah, because he said he was so distraught.
He said, "Because how dare you put the weight of your grown thoughts on the shoulders of this child because y'all don't like something." Okay. Now he didn't go any further.
Because it could have been like a funny little sketch comedy thing, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But when you put them, but what you call him is gay anyway, so why would he act like that?
Because of again the dress thing.
The dress.
Because remember now, Reginald Vell Johnson, a lot of folks don't know that he was gay because remember he was closeted for a long time.
Oh yeah,
he was closeted. Okay, and so a lot of folks didn't expect.
But not only that, well, here we go. I don't want you to miss this, Meech. You make this point all the time.
What?
That man, the reason he had a problem with it, Nikki, one of the reasons I know deep down inside, because again, I don't give a fuck if you're gay or not, he's still a black man standing up for black pride reasons.
Right.
Yeah. And like he just said, he was in the closet for a long time.
Were they mad for a good reason, or were they mad because Urkel was getting more airtime?
Well, no, I think the way that it sounded to me that they were mad because they didn't want to put the weight of that on him.
Yeah, I'm
not
saying them. I'm talking about because Heard and Carl had an issue with Urkel from the beginning because he became the star of the damn show.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be the star.
Unexpectedly,
The show was
right.
supposed to be
And then on top of that, they're going to give him two more damn characters.
Right.
Right.
And more than that, really, because remember sometimes he played the Bruce Lee thing.
Right.
And then he was Myrtle, Bruce Lee,
Elvis
Stefan,
Presley,
himself, and a couple other ones depending on what was happening. But they did create the show around her from when she was on Bosom Buddies.
They gave her not Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers, I mean.
Right. From Perfect Strangers, yeah.
They created the family for her.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Let me bring Dr. Marla up in here because she's blowing up.
Guess what? Give me a role and I'll do it all. I'll kiss. Oh, never mind.
No.
Hey, Dr. Marla.
No, Tay is not, baby. Let me read her comments because she when she get the type of honey, she got to talk, and I'm like, oh, and she every time she was asking about Robert Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. He may have committed suicide because it was something he was dealing about. What about Jack Tripper, Three's Company? Wasn't the guy considered gay too? He was considered gay, but he wasn't, and then a lot of that was because of the backlash of the character. The character Jack Tripper was but not
Was Jake supposed to be gay? I thought he had dates with girls.
The
He
character
had
of
dates.
Jack's character wasn't supposed to be gay. Mr. Furley, the only way he was allowed to
Furley
move
thought
in
he
there
was.
because he told them he was
because
gay.
he told them because that was the only way he can stay with the girls, right?
And whenever,
It was
Mr. Furley come around, he
different
was like,
skin
yeah,
from the bosom buddy kind of thing, you know?
It was like, so we can stay in this all-woman building.
Right.
We gonna
Hey, yeah, because remember Mr. Freddie come around and he'll put his arm around something. You know how we girls do it.
Right. And I always call it you know, he was like,
Yeah, that was
Jack
Tripper's thing. Jack Tripper's
Right.
stay in the apartment. They didn't want a man in the apartment with two women and bosom buddies. It was an all-female building, and they couldn't find nowhere else.
and they couldn't find anybody to go, so they got up and drag and said that they were okay in order to live in the building.
Buffy and Hillary Guard.
Buffy and Hildegard.
Okay. Right.
Wow.
Buffy and Hildegard.
Wow, that's a way.
But you got to remember not you got to remember, but I'm thinking back in those days with that not being so outwardly, that some of those people that were playing those roles really probably knew how to play them pretty good.
Yes, princess.
Well, you know what? Here's something.
Yes, princess.
No, because she was asking. No, I'm talking about Leah.
Leah, Carl Winslow is gay. Where have I been? I had no idea. Child, honey.
Yes,
here's what this is. Black actors, and again, going to the credit of what the message of the whole buck breaking thing is supposed to be, and Judge Joe Brown's little thing on the attack on black masculinity. Okay, the whole idea that a black heterosexual man can only make it in this business if he have on his resume that he played a woman somewhere, or got up in a dress somewhere, or whatever. Okay, and I get tired of that narrative too. But my whole thing is this. On one side of the coin, if I am an actor and I say yes to the role because I want to stretch my acting chops.
Right.
Okay, or hell, better yet, I just need the damn gig. Okay?
Guys, do we forget that
I need the
acting
gig.
started and women were not allowed to act?
Exactly. So if that's the case, but then what happens when we get black men who are good actors? Why is it that you always got to question if they're gay or not? Well, he played that role too good not to be. Well, what the fuck? He's an actor.
He's supposed to be good. Right.
He's supposed to be
We're
good.
not supposed to not know he's not.
Right.
Y'all
Okay. Why not?
been over here earlier today. Here's case in point. There were some people staying, the people from the show Ruthless was staying at Meech's Hotel, right? And there's this one guy on there. I don't fan out that much. But this man is a beautiful specimen. Lord God, when you made him, honey.
Yes, God.
When
See,
you
he is the
made
reason
him,
that you know God is real, honey.
He is tall and short, and the body is just like. And I looked at Meech. I said, I promise you, if we find out he gay, me and you falling out for at least 45 minutes. I'm not speaking to you. I promise you, I'm not speaking to you for like 45 minutes because my feelings gonna be hurt. I can't be mad at my brother for longer than 45 minutes, but about 45 minutes, I'm gonna be mad at him. It ain't his fault, but I'm gonna be mad at him.
Okay.
He would be able to have a shot and not me. I think that man is a beautiful specimen of a man. Please, God, don't let him be gay.
That's the way I felt about Tay Diggs, though.
I don't think Tay Diggs is gay.
No.
Somebody said that. I was reading some comments. I couldn't tell what they thought.
No, he's not gay because of that role. I don't think he's gay.
No, he's not. No, here's the other part of this, because see,
now, even as a minister, I may roll with that.
Oh, here's the other part of this.
Still a woman, Dr. Marla.
How about that? Here's the other part of the argument that
you ain't bringing the same money home, you know.
The other part of the argument that I think is valid, that I wondered if the movie is going to talk about, is this. Because those same black men who are considered or have doubts about being gay, if folks are questioning whether or not they're gay or not, a lot of them have white
women
companions.
Mm-hmm.
Tay Diggs is married to a white woman. Okay.
Right.
Oh shit! Wait a minute, because there's the whole litany of them.
But you're right. They do. Most of them do.
A lot of them
His wife is
have
white, ain't she?
who?
Tay Diggs.
Yeah, this is white. Yeah, he has his wife is white. Sidney Poitier, his wife was white.
He ain't really black though.
Oh, I like Dr. Marlowe on Friday nights.
He ain't really black. He ain't never been black.
On Friday nights, y'all.
He one of the blackest people I know. What do you mean?
He not really black, and I'm not
He's
really
a
gay.
skin black, but he ain't really black.
Yeah, and I'm not really gay, honey. You know what I mean? I'm really not. I'm gay. I'm just.
Hello, Big Me.
That ain't none of my business.
What do you guys think about Grace and Frankie? It's about two families where the men left their wives for each other. The men had affairs for years. Yes.
That happens all the time. Somebody needed to be telling them stories.
Yeah.
That's real life. I have a cousin.
That's real life.
Yeah, that's real life. Grace and Frankie that's with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. Okay. And their husbands left them to be with each other. And then they became friends.
How did they get a black son?
Huh?
How did they get a black son?
I have no idea because I don't watch. I've never followed.
They had to adopt.
No, not adopt. They must have adopted them.
They had to have.
Okay, I never watched it, so
I'm glad you should watch it though.
I just knew the premise of it because I've listened to interviews.
I would recommend you watch it. It's
I know it's funny as hell because Lily Tomlin's just a funny ass.
I love Lily Tomlin.
But that stuff happened in real life. My cousin.
It really does.
My cousin was married 26 years to this dude, right? His name was Michael. I'm gonna put him all out there, but anyway. And they came to visit us because their daughter was graduating the college, the military thing, the military basic training she's getting out of there, and they slept in the, we put them in the same bed and everything, husband and wife, we like, you can have this girl. They got back home, and next thing you know, I was like, I don't mean girl, but all y'all, but
come on, girl, get this, bitch.
No,
this tea.
And look, everybody go ahead, go on, tell me.
They turned around and they were like, they ain't even together no more. I was like, what you mean they ain't together? Oh, well, Mike was gay. He done went and left Regina for another man. I was like, get out of here.
Look, Dr. Barlow done clutched.
She clutched her pearls. What? She clutched.
We just put them in the same bed the other day.
I was like, for real. So I said, Lord, well, welcome to the family, whoever.
But you know what? I'm gonna get. Hey, hold on. I witnessed that situation more dramatically at a birthday party before.
Mm-hmm.
It was a surprise party for a gentleman. Thug gangster, you know what I'm saying? People scared of him, respected him. He had his little crew, entourage, but he had a job too. He was one of them smart entrepreneurs, right? So at the party, the guy he works with at the regular job, the boss, came to the party, and everybody's drinking and stuff because his wife threw him a good party, great party. God rest her soul, because she gone now. But anyway.
That killed her, I'm sure.
Listen, I was thinking that, so they killed her.
No, listen. We all downstairs, house party, everything laid out. When the white guy was ready to go, you know how he used to do, put the coats in the room?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, man, I'm gonna go upstairs and grab your coat for you. So he was like, oh no, I can get my coat. He was like, he said, man, come on. So they talking about it. They steady talking. They go up the stairs and get the coat. We partying. DJ doing their thing. We kicking it, playing cards, spades. Now, I know goddamn well, spade game over. I just sat down. I'm halfway through a domino game. And I'm like, and it's all of a sudden, I'm looking like this. And I was like, damn. I'm like, where your husband go? I said, he need to be on this goddamn domino table. We just talking shit. Like, did he leave or did he go make a play, so he can do the other shit, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, nobody really was thinking about it because everybody having fun. So we ain't saying that everybody steady kicking and she go up the stairs and, inconspicuously, she go upstairs.
Lord.
When she opened the door,
have mercy.
Her husband was getting a yard of Pink Willie up his tail.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he was bottoming. Oh. Not only did she walk in, but she walked in on him bottoming. Now, you know what?
And she beat him from the bedroom.
I would have too.
Through the hallway with one hand because she had a handful of hair. Hold on. She was beating him with one hand because in the other hand, she had a handful of hair dragging the white boy down the stairs while she beat him at the same time. And we all, now so everybody's like, what's the hell going on? Everybody jumping over there. She beating the brakes off of him. Won't stop beating him. Everybody trying to get her. And we wonder what's going on. Now the music stopped, lights on. So it's like, and she said, she called him all kind of nasty son of a bitch or something. And I'm standing there going, what the fuck? I'm confused as hell right now. And I'm going, what the? And I'm like, and I said, but she called him too many nasty son of a bitches too quick in the last 5 motherfucking minutes. And I said, a nasty. I said, oh no. I said, oh.
Why?
Y'all know Red ain't allowed to be in situations like that.
Hence why the reason of the whippings.
You know what? If I was there, I would be like, oh my God, I hope they wasn't doing it on my coat.
Right.
I was like, but she was crying. She was so hurt because they had 3 kids.
I was getting ready to say, I think it for real.
They had 3 kids, man. Now I just like, and I didn't know what to say. Nikki, you know how I felt? Wait a minute, you know I was in the streets up there. So you know how I felt after that incident, witnessing it, and then we're in the streets. He's still trying to ride around in his little Chevy bubble. Right. And he pull up on me talking about some, what's good? Nothing. Right. Nothing.
Right. Because not only are you embarrassed for the wife, you're also angry that you put her through that.
Right. That was my thing. For me, it was more of not just, okay, because not everybody is ready to tell somebody something when you think they should be ready to tell, but the disrespect of it. I'm giving you this party as my token of love to you, and you fuck this thing in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't disrespect your wife, your house, and your 3 kids.
Yeah. And your guest.
And your 3 kids, and all of us. Now, everybody that was down there that was scared of this nigga because he big homie in the streets was like, boy, I'd have whooped your ass.
Wait a minute, stop.
Yeah, he said it. The homie.
Because that's what we was talking about.
Because see,
that don't make him not be a masculine man. He just gay.
And that's the biggest mistake we make. We feel like that because the man is masculine, ain't nothing wrong with him. Or I ain't saying nothing wrong with him anyway. Don't get me wrong.
No, ain't nothing wrong with him. My point is this. Everybody's so scared of this nigga when he wolf. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, I'm like this. I'm like, well, evidently it's something he's trying to do. What do you hear in corporate America? Them white boys pay dominatrix to come whoop their ass because they tired of being the boss all day.
They do.
So
right.
You know what?
And I'm playing the devil's advocate because my thing is because he was interacting with another man. Why did most of the people in the room decide to come to an understanding that he wasn't as masculine as he was before he went up the steps?
Yeah, like the hands still hit the same.
But no.
I think what it was her words, Meech. I can't blame everybody for their thoughts. Yeah. It was her words of you punk motherfucker, you up there, this nigga fucking you on our bed. Blah, blah, blah. When that woman going off like that,
you like,
that's just, you know what I'm saying?
That same thing would have happened. That same thing would have happened had it been a woman that he had at the bed too.
But like
me, she found out he was a bottom too, so that
right, and that's why you automatically. That's when you automatically call him the faggots and the punk bitch because he was on the bottom.
Because he was bottom.
He was on the top. Would her verbiage been the same? I don't think so.
I think it would have been. I think I don't think it would have been. I think it would have been. You know what? No,
I'm not a person who people
Derek, you own
the
something.
I lived that.
But Derek, you own something because I feel like her words would have been versus being punk motherfucker faggot motherfucker fuck you on the bed. I think it would have been more of, you know what I'm saying, like if he was on top, I feel like
that?
Yeah, how can you disrespect me like that? I'm not enough woman for you. You got to dump me for a man.
Right.
You know, that's
I don't really agree. I think because of the hurt and the pain, she would have been, the words would have been the
The
same.
embarrassment.
No,
you're right. The embarrassment.
Respect, and in the house with a house full of people. Because
Yeah.
imagine somebody walking in on that and nobody else being around.
Right.
Yes, you still embarrassed, you hurt, and you ashamed. But you is 10 times worse. You got.
But see, Doc, I would beg to differ. I think instead of being punk motherfuckers, he'd been nasty motherfuckers.
Listen. I'm
You
not.
see what I'm saying?
Known the difference. If it had been me, I wouldn't have known the difference. I would have still been angry either way.
But you would have reacted differently. Let me give you this scenario. You don't know you don't know whether I'm a top or a bottom. But I tell you that I'm gay. You're not automatically gonna call me a punk motherfucker. You're gonna call me that because you see somebody fucking me, period. If I was the one that was on the top, your verb, trust me, I'm not talking about
No, but I see what Dr. Marley is saying. When you don't even understand the disrespect and the hurt. Some people don't know the difference.
I'm not saying that. I understand the hurt, but I'm saying her reaction would have been different if her husband was not getting fucked.
Exactly. And let me say this.
I think that's because y'all are men. I honestly think it's because you're men and you're thinking like that. For me, as a woman, I would be mad either way. It would have been, and I don't think I would have said anything different. They would have been a punk either way again. That's how I would be looking at it.
Here's where it is. Here's where it is.
I didn't get that. My ex-wife didn't do all that to me. She didn't call me a punk motherfucker. She didn't do all that. So
she didn't catch you though either, did she?
Huh?
Did she walk in on you?
Did she walk in on you?
But that's what I'm saying to you. Her reaction was different because of what she walked in on.
Yeah,
if he had just told her I'm gay, her reaction would not have been the same.
That's exactly what we're saying. The hurt.
That's what we're saying. The same thing.
That's exactly what we're saying. It was the hurt,
right?
The disrespect.
I understand that, but I'm saying her
version
would have been different if
hold on, because we're saying the same things, but there's a little caveat here.
Mm-hmm.
The initial reaction with walking in, seeing it, would have been a little different if her husband was on the top, because how we equate gayness is everything is good as long as you're still a man.
But see, this
is as a woman, I don't feel that.
I get that.
Let me take this one, Beach. Hold on. Because I need y'all to understand what Dr. Marley is saying.
Oh, I got
I understand what she's saying.
Wait,
but listen, you can't say that I don't understand what she's saying.
Wait. I'm saying for a person who does not know the life, who does not know, there are a lot of people who we don't realize.
I don't know the life.
Know the difference
never
between a top and a bottom. So like I got initially, I knew immediately what she was saying.
Because to her it's all the same.
Right. It doesn't make a difference.
It's all the same.
Her husband was doing it or getting it, because either way, she would have saw it the same way. Now, somebody like me walking in, and I know this because you know what I'm saying. I know this life, and my husband I'm gonna be like, oh, like with me, and you getting fucked like you ain't even know.
And you know what, Doc? I'm gonna share this with you. No, I'm gonna share this with Doc. I'm gonna share this with you right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: there are a lot of men, because, like you said, you don't know life, but there are a lot of men walk around here calling themselves straight. They straight men. I'm straight, but they are the ones having intercourse with men.
If they're not receiving it,
if they're not receiving it, they still feel like they straight.
Okay.
Like the guys in prison.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, okay. You know what? Right. That's
and I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
As a person that hasn't really been in that.
Right. That's what I was trying to explain. Like, if
I would more or less be like you cheating regardless whether you get. And then I also would think, well, maybe you fooling with it, but maybe that was just the incident at the time. How long you been seeing this person, and maybe. Just like a man and a woman, sometimes you on top, sometimes you on the bottom.
And that's what I was going to say, because we don't know. You might be both. So
here's the thing. Sometimes. Here's the thing, and that there is, we're dealing with somebody who does not know the concept of it, and because in that particular circle, honey, and then you're a traditional Christian, so your whole idea of it, honey, is not something you're going to sit around and fathom and think about and try to understand how y'all do it, because that ain't my thing. So
I ain't even trying to figure out how men and women do it anymore.
That's what I say.
Exactly.
When people be talking about sexuality on TV.
Right.
I don't care who's doing it. I don't want to see it. I want to be able to watch TV with my granddaughter and not worry about every time Lily watch Disney, and if you watching the preteens or the teenagers and they start liking the little boys, this her. I said, Lily, you know one day you're going to like somebody. She was like, I hate boys. I think they hate it. She said, I don't trust them, Grandma. I said, good, don't trust them.
Okay.
Right.
So with that, see, that becomes a whole nother education.
It does.
But to the credit of walking in there, the hurt, the embarrassment, the this and the that, and all of that, the shame, and the guilt of, okay, was I not enough? And then you get here, and then why would you do this? We got all these people down these steps.
Yeah.
I would
have been like,
all of that is what's going on here. So okay,
then, like you said, you'd be like, I wasn't woman enough, and then you in your mind, I can't compete with that.
Right.
But not knowing that there's no competition for that, because, sweetie, that ain't what he wants. He doesn't want you in any kind of way like that. Unless he's bisexual and he might be attracted to both. But if he's gay, there's no competition, because you are no other woman.
But I just feel like they ought to be truthful in the first place, regardless.
I think a lot of times they be scared to be truthful because of the stigma that's been put on it for most of their lives. That's why I love when Derek tells his story. That's why I said, Derek, your wife didn't walk in on you. You told her.
Yeah.
No, technically, at the time I told you that I was an office manager. I was the president of my resident council. She went in my office and she found letters that I was writing to an inmate in jail.
Okay, yeah. And it's still not the same as the visual. It's still not the same as walking in on the act. Now, if you got
it's not the same, but the effect of the man that you have 3 children by, and you find out, not through him telling you, find out that your man likes men. That, I mean, it's never going to compare to what she walked in on.
Right.
Derek,
but if your mind is real visual and you reading it, it can be that, because you've reliving it.
I praise God that you're still amongst us, Derek. Praise the Lord.
She said, told your wife and kill your ass.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. My ex-wife, at that time, I was getting into my authentic self. And that time, my ex-wife did everything. Well, we could still live together. You sleep in one room, I sleep in one room.
Oh, hey, hold on, Derek.
What happened?
Let me explain something to you.
Derek, you surprised? Oh, what's wrong with me?
I just read this, and wait a minute. Wait, Amy, is this the same one that I'm thinking of when you was at the hotel with me? I think it's complicated about sexuality. I hated my ex-husband for coming out to me as bi after we got married, but seeing how I did the same thing in my current relationship, I couldn't judge anymore. Oh,
okay.
Girl.
Okay.
Where the pearls?
Okay.
The stones and everything.
Look,
baby,
I told either Derek or me. I can't remember which one I told, but I was like, this is one reason why I really want to be a part of y'all shows and stuff, because for me, I'm learning so much. I'm learning not to, the judgment that we have as the body of Christ, the body of believers, we have a certain amount of judgment. And I know that until I'm able to accept what happens in life, period, I can't be a help to anybody, period. I have to learn, I have to know, I have to go without judgment, and I have to love regardless.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean,
to be able to, it's
like
understanding.
I said, she wanted us to still live together. I mean, I got my own, and I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all know I'm as transparent as they come. I mean, after we separated, I got my own place. Me and my ex-wife did it quite a few times, and I don't know. And I'm gonna say, and I probably did that with her out of guilt, huh?
You did what? I'm just playing.
We still had sex.
They still had sex,
But I felt, myself, I felt as though that I was still intimate with her out of guilt, not because I wanted to.
Oh, that's big.
Okay. Dot.
That is so big.
Dot.
Yes, sir.
You in timeout for 5 minutes. Okay, don't say nothing else.
Yes,
you can feel like a part of the family because you get put in timeout too.
Amy, I was asking, wait a minute, were you married before? Because I know the guy that you were dating. That's the father of the baby. I thought that y'all, I thought y'all were married, and that's what you're talking about. If you're not talking about the father of Ruby, honey, then you're talking about a marriage that I don't know about. But if you're talking about him, girl, I'm gagging.
Amy, you done lived out here in these streets. Huh?
Wow.
Yes, girl.
You got Meech gagging, and he's not even on a date.
I know I loved Amy ass. I ain't never met
Or
her.
drinking, honey. Okay.
And
You're gonna make me grab a cocktail, child, for real. This was just part of the game.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh, she said, "Oh, I was married at 20, divorced at 21." Okay.
I wish I was divorced when I got married at 18. I wish I would have been divorced at 19. Oh no, because then my
Yeah, but okay, now listen. Okay, because we going down a rabbit hole, honey, and all of this, and you see what all of how this onion has bloomed just by talking about a documentary that we haven't even watched yet because of what it is. I'm going to do this because I know some of y'all are just coming in again. I'm going to replay the trailer for it, and then right after the trailer, I'm going to play the trailer for another movie that I do have this one, and Nikki, you know this one, the Uncle Tom movie documentary.
Oh, I think
it's called Uncle Tom. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I have this, and I really believe that it too is an educational
Didn't we watch Uncle Tom already?
Huh?
We watched.
Said he's replaying it.
No, I have the trailer for it, and I'm the reason why I'm playing these trailers is because I'm the point that I'm making is these are movies that may be questionable, that may be very debatable. Okay. That may have us all into some kind of quandary of opinions and things. At the same time, the reason why I'm about to own both of them is because in order for us to have intelligent conversation, we got to be able to hear what the other person is saying.
Amen.
You know, and I agree. You know, I don't have to give them my money in order to do this. However,
I mean, I know because it's the same thing that I say. If we don't understand what they're talking about, then we can't debate about it.
Then we can't debate about it. And even if
you bought it for all of us, I'm gonna watch it.
Right, and that's what it is. I made the investment so that we could use it as an educational piece, and not just because I'm helping further his cause or whatever. No, it's about my cause as far as being able to understand you. So if I have you on this platform, I'm able to have dialogue with you and not sit up here and come from a place of emotion. And I think oftentimes that's what happens. Okay. Okay. Doctor said she'll be right back. I'm gonna take her out till she come back. Okay.
Hey, Red.
But okay, what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Like I said, I'm gonna replay the trailer. And if you play this in the rebroadcast, if it's gone, it's because I had to take it out. Okay. So let me play the trailer again for Buck Breaking, and then directly after it, I'm gonna play the trailer for Uncle Tom.
When we talk about buck breaking, we have to understand that buck breaking is a show of power. It's a show of dominance. So we can't talk about buck breaking without talking about power.
When we look at the domination of Black people by the dominant society, what we are in essence seeing is that this society wants to ensure that we are not able to actually mete out that thing that makes humans exist, and that is creating families and procreating.
See, psychologically, when we're talking about the sexualizing of our people, primarily from the dominant society of the system of white supremacy, it had to be established in a very impinging way from the mental state.
This whole notion that masculinity is somehow toxic and detrimental to society is nothing but an attempt to emasculate Black malehood.
It's clearly an agenda. If you have two eyes in your head and you're able to see, you can see that it's an agenda, and it's an agenda to decrease our population.
It's always been about destroying the Black family. The family's the foundation of a people.
The heterosexual Black male is last on the pecking order here in America. If you're just a heterosexual Black man, how are you gonna beat the case? Because when you show up to court, when you show up to the job interview, when you show up to wherever, you coming in here as a heterosexual Black man, you have no power.
when Mark Twain confessed that we white people ground the manhood out of the Negro. Why ground the manhood out of the Negro? Because it's black masculinity that most exposes the fraud of white masculinity.
We, as the progenitors of culture, the ones who are the fathers and mothers of civilizations, who taught all people, who people look to for social cues, whether they want to realize it or not, I think they feel if they can get us to adapt to it, they can get everybody to adapt to it.
If anybody should have a problem with European males, it should be the European female. Because everything the European male has ever learned to do to us, he first practiced on his own woman.
We need resources in education. We need resources in labor. We need resources in politics. We need resources in medical. We need resources in so many things, but they ignore that and they put millions and even billions of dollars to tell us that you need to really embrace your LBGT side. So these people have an agenda, and it's up to us to understand what the agenda is.
Obama tore this country down. No one stood up to him. Nobody. Because he was black. You need to wake up.
My parents didn't teach me that I was a victim.
They can turn back voting rights. Didn't nobody donate to us the right to vote?
You was your house nigga. I didn't call you a nigga.
Oh, okay. That's a big difference.
You're Uncle Tom.
And Uncle Tom is somebody who has sold out by embracing the white man.
Uncle Tom.
Bedwench.
Bootlicker.
Black white supremacist.
Chucking and jiving.
House Negro.
Coon.
Uncle Tom.
Coon.
I have a Coon Award over there. Coon of the Year Award. Most black people don't believe that other blacks can be independent, free thinkers.
I believe the legacy and the ancestry of black Americans is being insulted every single day. I will not pretend to be a victim in this country. I know that that makes many people on the left uncomfortable.
Racist.
Racial. Racist.
Racism. 1,000 cuts of racism.
The liberal will try to control a black person through the concept of racism because they know that we are very proud, emotional people.
I never felt that because I was black or I was poor or a woman that I couldn't do something.
I grew up being told of my disadvantages, that this country is unfair to black people.
The ideology is implanted into you subconsciously to believe these things.
It's like a cancerous plague in the mind of black Americans.
We're brainwashed to think, well, is it because I'm black?
America's not ours, or we got shipped here. No. Our blood is on this soil. We own this too.
There should be a pride that we have in the fact that this country was built by many great black men and women.
Are you trying to say that this country does not specialize in racism and bigotry?
So long as black people continue to have their psyche filled by that nonsense, we won't have an awakening.
All right. And we are back.
I thought we watched that Uncle Tom thing.
We did.
That's what I was talking about.
I know. I said I was replaying the trailer.
Oh.
Because
first of all, let's be clear about who Uncle Tom was, and they need to stop doing that bullshit. Because if we're going to talk about Uncle Tom, talk about Uncle Tom for who he really was in that damn story, and he wasn't what they always making it seem to be. Uncle Tom gave up a lot for everybody else.
Right.
He was not kissing nobody and all this sort of stuff. The things that he did, if you listen to the damn story, which I listen to often, I will show you, it's on my audible.com. When I can't sleep and my meditation ain't working and other stuff ain't working, I go to Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Okay.
What he did selflessly to help everybody else. Everything when he got knocked back down, every time he thought he was going to be free and all kinds of shit like that, he did for somebody else. So I need for y'all to stop doing that. You want to find something to call somebody? Go ahead. Call him
Sambo.
Sambo,
Yeah.
and, you know, those people and stuff like that. But if you're going to use the references, make sure you use them right.
Right.
Because apparently ain't none of y'all ever read the damn book.
Right.
Mr. and Mrs. And y'all know I can't stand that bitch. Every time I hear her damn voice, I'm ready to fight. I don't like
Candace.
her. That dog.
No, I can't stand
Dr.
her.
Marla, I can't stand that.
I can't stand her.
Okay.
I love her through Christ, but other than that, she can
Not
go.
me. It's for God to do that.
Listen, I played those because, like I said, in order for us to really get into what's happening and understanding the world, we have to understand it and see it through their lens. That Uncle Tom documentary,
Josiah Henson.
it was what I thought it was going to be. A lot of what they said in there I can agree with, but then came the fuckery and the brand of bullshit. Because instead of it being about what it is to be black and conservative, this then became about Republican and Democratic parties.
Always.
Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with black or nothing. You say, I am a conservative because of this. As long as they stayed there, they were fine. I understood where they were going, and that was cute. When they got to making this between Republican and Democrat party carrying on, I said, okay, here we go.
Exactly.
This ain't got nothing to do with the narrative that you're trying to sell me.
Period.
Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with the damn narrative. Okay? And I played that because oftentimes my Power to the People children, that Tyreek Nasheed and them children like that, they end up saying the same exact thing when it comes down to Republican and Democrat and this whole party thing. I'm sick of it. If you don't like the parties, create one or at least groom somebody that you want to go up there and run.
That's what they did with Trump.
Listen,
how about that?
Little stupid ass Candace, you thought you was so on their side. You thought they loved you so much, bitch. Where was you at? They ain't call you for none of those rallies when Trump came. They ain't asked you to speak. They asked you to speak on the Republican Party for nothing, you stupid hoe. Listen, I don't even like calling women out their name and stuff. It just she just irks my entire soul. Now, like I said I can't stand her. I don't say I hate her, but I ain't good as Dr. Marla. I'm not gonna say I love her. I don't. That's for God to love her. I ain't gonna say I hate her, but I don't love her ass either.
Okay, Israel.
Well, I really don't know her. I can only love her.
I know you say you love her, and you know I love most people in the Most High being too, because we should. She ain't one of them.
Right.
So
okay.
I probably never have. I probably never have to really show love to her.
Look. Thank God you there. Cause when we say God ain't through with me yet.
He ain't through with me. I ain't never met her, so it's just like the situation of walking in on somebody versus not. Until I walk in on her, I don't know what I feel like.
Oh, how about that? Tracy said they wanted Uncle Tom to beat the slaves, and he was against it. It was Sambo who betrayed his people.
Thank you.
Okay. So now let's do this because I want to sit down there and do that. Let me take a little commercial break because we have a new sponsor, and I want to take a short little commercial break. When we come back, I want to go into something that's going to be another hot button topic, and that there is, how many of y'all have heard that they are starting the first in-human clinical trials for an HIV vaccine?
Wait, who what?
Wait a minute.
We'll be back in a moment. Yes, we will. Wait a minute. Oh, shit, I'm trying to be cute. There we go. Angelo Ellerby, the Henry Higgins of hip-hop, is the founder, president, and CEO of Double Exposure Media Relations. Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in publicity, photography, artist promotion and artist development, makeup artistry, event production, and EPK development. Celebrating over 45 years in the industry, Angelo believes that a culture that does not take care of nor respect its artists is a culture that leaves nothing behind to appreciate. Let Angelo help you make dollars and cents of the entertainment industry. Contact Double Exposure Media Relations at 201-224-6570. That's 201-224-6570.
Avea, Liliana, Olivia, Nyla, and Nasia. This is Alo Nana. Hey everyone, it is your girl Aunt Nikki, and I am here to tell you about my Alo Nana Creations collection. So let me tell you what this collection consists of right now. Right now we have all natural body butters, all natural rose water spray, and handcrafted crystals and beads jewelry. That means you can get necklaces, you can get bracelets, you can get waist beads, you can get anklets. You can choose from what we already have, or you can give me a call, hit your girl up, honey, and tell me exactly what it is that you think that you need, and I will create a piece especially for you. Okay, so I want y'all to get into this. Yes, I sit here and bead every last one, honey. I'm having such a good time doing it. If you guys didn't see in the beginning when I called out those names, honey, Avea, Liliana, Olivia, Nala, and Nasia, those are my granddaughters. That is where the name Alo Nana came from. We started with the body butters, then I went into the jewelry, and baby, I just added this rose water, honey, and I am telling you, it is amazing. Look at the ending credits to see where you can purchase you some, where you can order it.
Be bold, be unique, be the T, with a unique body oil fragrance from the Sensuality fragrance collection. The Sensuality collection embodies a unique array of customized original scents created by Big Meech. Indulge yourself in such fragrances as eye candy, foreplay, anticipation, shower fresh, naked beauty, or pay homage to the motherland and choose an oil from our exclusive Wakanda collection. Over 17 different scents that will tantalize your senses. Order yours today. Log on to www.dishingtea.com for more information. Because remember, it's all about the tea. Sensuality, that is. Attention all business owners. Use your advertising dollars here. Looking to reach a more diverse audience for your products and your services? Well, this is the platform for you. Dishing Tea Entertainment welcomes all businesses who wish to expand their brands and looking for clientele that's more than grown and sexy, but also the seasoned and sophisticated. For more information on how this spot can be yours, contact Big Meat at 404-914-5610 or go to our website at www.dishingtea.com. All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time, All right, let's get into this because, darling, I want you guys to understand a couple of things that I'm finding to be a little bit that way. I'm going to read this article, honey, because, I got this. I was listening to my sister, Miss Frame Monroe. Okay, and wait a minute, is this a video? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me share this because see if this is a video, and let me share this so that they can pronounce all the hard words. Okay, because what ends up happening is that sometimes when you're reading all this scientific stuff, child, you don't know these damn words. Okay, make sure we share the audio. Hit the Chrome tab. We want to share this. Okay. All right, can everybody see that?
You ain't put nothing up yet. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see.
holy grail of the HIV vaccine field is to elicit broadly neutralizing antibodies by vaccination. And here we've shown in humans that we can start that process. People are very used to hearing about the coronavirus spike protein and how all the vaccines are trying to induce antibodies against the spike protein to prevent the virus from infecting your cells. And it's the same thing for HIV, generally speaking, but the spike protein on HIV viruses is much more devious. HIV has millions and millions of different strains. And that means that antibodies against one virus, against one HIV spike, will not block another HIV spike. And so HIV is not really one virus. It's really like 50 million different viruses around the world right now. We have to elicit antibodies that bind to specific patches on the spike that don't change very much. People in the field, including my colleague Dennis Burton and others, have discovered what are called broadly neutralizing antibodies against HIV that bind to these conserved patches. But for a vaccine to work, it first interacts with what are called naive B cells, and very few of them will be able to bind a certain antigen, and those few will expand and gain mutations and gain affinity and learn how to neutralize the pathogen. And in this case, if you want to elicit specific kinds of broadly neutralizing antibodies, the antibodies that bind to the conserved patches on the HIV spike, the first shot of the vaccine needs to trigger the right naive B cells, the very rare naive B cells that have the right properties that would enable them to eventually develop into a broadly neutralizing antibody. And it was realized back around 2009, 2010, that the naive B cells that have the properties to develop into broadly neutralizing antibodies, they're actually so far away in terms of the number of mutations that they don't bind very well to HIV proteins. And that means that if you want to make a vaccine that elicits broadly neutralizing antibodies, at least the first shot in the vaccine probably can't be an off-the-shelf HIV protein because it's not going to trigger the right starting B cells. And we started working on that problem. And over the years, with other people involved and lots of other collaborators, we developed this immunogen that ultimately got tested in this clinical trial. This sequential vaccination is really a series of vaccinations that one leads to the next. So each vaccination will result in a pool of what we call memory B cells, and each B cell has an antibody on its surface. And then the next shot of the vaccine will come and trigger those memory B cells and get them to mature further in the right direction, and on and on. And finally, the last shot, the job is to actually convert the memory B cells into plasma cells, which again will secrete antibodies. And in this case, we need them to be secreting broadly neutralizing antibodies against HIV. So no matter which one of the 50 million different strains of HIV they were exposed to, the collection of all the different broadly neutralizing antibodies that had been elicited by the vaccine would be enough to block that virus. In the trial, we were testing for the first time whether this concept would work. And we were testing it with one particular vaccine candidate. And the question was simply, if you vaccinate human beings with this vaccine candidate, will it find the right naive B cells and trigger them and cause them to expand and form memory B cells that have the right properties? And the answers were, it totally worked. Nearly every vaccine recipient produced the response we were looking for. And the memory B cells that were the sort of the output of our vaccine are pretty darn mature. I mean, they don't know how to neutralize HIV yet. They can't do that. We didn't expect that they would. But we have studied them, and now we have a good idea for what our second shot should look like. And a key aspect of the trial, as in any phase 1 clinical trial, is to determine safety. Is the vaccine safe? And gratifyingly, in our case, it was completely safe. We had no serious adverse events. So I think, the take-home message for us is, A, it showed that the concept is valid, it has a chance of working, and also that the actual specific vaccine candidate that we tested here is pretty darn good. We thought going in that this is a test of proof of principle, and if we can show the strategy works, but maybe the actual vaccine itself isn't that great, we need to go back to the drawing board and improve it. We were ready for that outcome, but that's not the outcome we got. I mean, you can always make something better, but the results were surprisingly strong and positive. And so for the moment, we don't need to revise it. We can just start building on our first candidate, which is really nice, and it saves us a lot of time. I and all of my people in my lab and collaborators have been living this for a long time, and you put your hopes and your dreams in a project, but it's very rewarding that it worked. But that's combined with the fact that, you know, we have not solved the problem yet. This is just one step. And so it's just renewing our determination to keep going and working really hard and trying to turn this into a complete success, which would be inducing broadly neutralizing antibodies in humans.
All right, and we are back.
I don't know if it was just me, but there was so much echo in it that I could barely hear anything he was saying.
Was that everybody? Oh, wait a minute, I got everybody on mute.
I mean,
he was double talking. It sounded like he was double talking.
Yeah, I could barely. I heard like vaccination, something, and HIV, but I could not. Well, why don't you break it down for us what he was saying?
God damn it, that means I got to read this thing, child.
You already hear it? Could you give us the gist? Can't you give us the gist?
The gist of it is, honey, basically is that they have started having inhuman clinical trials for this HIV vaccine. Okay? And so right now, basically what he was saying in this is that the whole thing is all these different strands and different viruses and carrying on that they have across the globe. So now they're trying to learn how to get this particular stage of the virus or of the vaccine to see where it goes, if it can build and actually help to reduce AIDS or HIV and carrying on. Okay. So what do y'all think about that as far as them creating now? See, we on this vaccine kick. Everybody looking for a shot in the arm.
Man, I'm so sick of shots and quick pill fixes in the world. Come on, bro. Before they had all that mess, it was a healthy universe.
Boom.
I'm tired.
Okay.
I kind of I feel a little different because, well, my husband is a person who does chemistry and stuff. And so without vaccinations and without doing those kind of jobs, people were not getting healed. Yes, we have God's healing, but he uses these people, these scientists and stuff to actually work, and they do I mean, of course there's money involved, but that the scientists, God has given them the ability to figure things out by putting cells together, doing all these things.
I agree with all that, Doc, but don't sell me the treatment. Sell me the cure.
Okay.
But a treatment is a form of a treatment. But a treatment is a form of it, because if you don't, you can't. I mean, I'm not saying now. I don't. As far as what they tell me, I don't know all of that, because it's just like having they have cancer cures too. There's some out there that are cancer cures, but so you got people that are going in the scientist thing and they're doing all these chemical things to figure out what kind of cancers can cover what kind of cancers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they have to be able to test these things. They have to figure it out, or some cancers aren't going to never be healed. You're not going to get healing from them. So, you know, would you say, I guess how I look at it is when my mom is sick with cancer or my best friend is sick with cancer, I'm going to want them to have whatever type of cures, if it means shots, if it means, you know, or die.
I mean, that's my point. I want it to be a cure, though. I feel like they come up with the cures and then they dumb them down to treatments for millions of dollars.
For the money.
You know what? I like that.
It's big business.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, they knew these cures for cancer and stuff been around here. You know that you could cure this stuff. I believe in my whole heart naturally. But Big Pharma, in order for you to make money, you don't want us to do it naturally. You want us to keep getting sick, because as long as we keep getting sick, we got to keep coming back. The more we come back, the more we got to pay these bills.
The money is in the treatment, not the cure.
Right. Yeah. Why would I give you the cure when it's more profitable for me to just treat you?
But then what do you say about the person that has cancer? One person is cured from it and another person doesn't get cured from it. Their bodies react to the cancer.
Okay. That's a very good point. Hold on. Israel said, I feel that the Moorish people, black people, need to stop conforming to things that were taught to us, because it's nothing except secrets and lies. We will continue to be slaves as long as we keep believing the things that we are taught. My job as a ministering, teaching student is to free those who are institutionalized in their very own souls. Oh, now that's very.
Hold.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because you can't say in one breath, if we keep thinking about what we was taught and then turn around and tell me that you're going to teach me something, how do I know what you're teaching me? I think everybody needs to learn how to research, because not everybody was brainwashed.
That part.
Because if you haven't seen me before, honey, I didn't have to be retaught.
Okay.
I wasn't, what y'all like to say, brainwashed and stuff like that. But I do also think you need to learn as much as you can so you can use your own discernment and find out what you feel like is right and what is wrong. Because what makes what you may want to teach somebody better than what somebody else. Now, I'm not arguing the fact that we've been taught a bunch of bullshit. Please don't take that as what I'm saying. But you can't say in one breath, we can't take what we were taught and then tell me that you're going to teach this, because you don't know what I was taught.
Okay.
I'm just saying this.
Amen.
I'm just saying, because I'm not one of those people who was taught that traditional, you know, the white Jesus and this. I was never taught that. I wasn't born into Christianity. I've never been a Christian. Do I know Christianity? Yes, because I've studied it. I've studied it to be able to have a conversation with my Christian friends so that I can understand them, and with the hopes that they would read everything that I was taught so that they could understand me. So you can't just say that in one big blanket, because not everybody was taught the same thing, nor did everybody wait till they got old to be enlightened. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
That makes sense. Good sense.
Amy says, so with HIV, when it first came about, people were certainly persecuted and ostracized because of the illness of their illness and sexuality. Over time, the treatment has improved from dangerous to almost a cure. Instead of dying in massive numbers from AIDS, people have a fighting chance. A vaccine can mean a social shift, like what we're seeing with COVID. Okay.
I was getting ready to say, because it seems like in the past couple decades, when we talk about HIV now, we don't look at it as that death sentence that we thought about when we were kids in the 80s and stuff like that, when we just realized what was going on. Somebody said they had that, you automatically thought they was going to die. And a lot of times back then, they weren't.
But you know, a lot of back then, a person says, the person has AIDS, they got HIV. A person got HIV, they got AIDS. And it was never true.
Because you don't always be full-blown AIDS.
But I'm saying back then, all you had to do was say
one or the other, and they say you're gonna die.
And let me preface this, because I always do this when we talk about HIV/AIDS, and I want you guys to understand when someone says they are full-blown AIDS, that is a medical diagnosis. That simply means that their T cell count has dropped up under 200. The very first time that happens, they are then given an AIDS diagnosis or are considered to be full-blown. That doesn't mean that they can't turn around, because oftentimes they do when the treatment is given. They got new drugs and this, that, and the other, and the treatment there, and they are adherent to treatment. And when the T cell levels start to rise back up again, they are still given an AIDS diagnosis. HIV positive people are given a full-blown AIDS diagnosis the day that the doctor recognizes that their T cell count is up under 200.
Right.
Okay. And the reason why I'm like stressing that is because, and I've heard this at an HIV testing facility. In fact, I asked the guy this and it mortified me, but at the same time, I get it. They're teaching nowadays because folks don't hear what I just said. All right. So they have to teach when they give an HIV positive diagnosis, that they have to teach that no, you don't have full-blown AIDS. You have HIV, the virus that causes AIDS.
Right.
Okay. Right. So they have to teach it that way because people are not comprehending. And what I just said about T cell counts being up under 200, that may be too technical for folks because all they know HIV, AIDS.
Right.
Okay. And it just unnerves me because I don't know. I know why, because hell, I don't necessarily want to call folks stupid, but I will say this. In this day and age, where so much being at the click of your damn fingertips, you could go to Google for any damn thing else. For those who do not want to go and educate themselves about what HIV is,
you just said it. Because sometimes they don't want to know.
They don't want to know.
And that's that behavior that we talked about, like Israel just talked about. So they said to you, you got AIDS, you're going to die. God punishes you. And that's what and then in your mind, you don't need to hear no more.
Exactly. That's what the thing is. Go ahead, my doctor.
But it's really, if you think about it, it's like that with most all diseases. Think about even something like diabetes. You can have diabetes. Your counts. It's according to your blood counts. I have lupus. Lupus is a disease that's not curable. They say, but we take medication for the same thing. But there comes times where you may have enough medication that it kind of like subsides the stuff. And the same way with diabetes. My ex-husband was on insulin for like 4 years. Then all of a sudden he dropped, everything was okay, and he ended up being on pills. Now the joker don't take no medication for it.
Right.
But he still has diabetes.
Right.
Because diagnosed.
But he's what they call is he has it under control.
Under control. So it's the same thing with most every disease, heart disease, strokes. I had a stroke 2 years ago. That once you have it, you're always a stroke victim.
Right. Right. Okay.
When we think
about that's a valid point.
Is going to, I haven't had a blood transfusion in almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make my sickle cell go away.
Right.
It just means I didn't need a blood transfusion. I've learned to deal with my pain crisis way better than before. So now if I go into crisis, it don't mean that my sickle cell went away. It just means that now I meditate. Now I soak. Now I take a lot of herbs. And now I do different things as opposed to going to the hospital and get doped up with a bunch of medicine. Are there times when I still have to go for that? Yes, but it's not as many as I used to because I've learned that just because I go into crisis, I've learned that sometimes we can make the crisis go longer by not trying to calm down and know that if I do these things, I will be, I can lower my risk. I know that sometimes extreme heat will set it off. And I know it's probably with you, Dr. Marla, for lupus.
That's right.
Extreme heat for me or extreme cold for me.
That's right.
Me getting upset. So many things will kick me into crisis. I don't know why my blood cells say one day, heifer, we gonna be round circles, and the next day we gonna be I don't know. But they do it.
Yes.
And I've learned mentally to deal with it better so that I can shorten the crisis, the length of pain, and how much pain did I go through. I didn't have those tools before. I do now.
Amen.
Vaccinating against COVID doesn't mean you're... Yeah, that's what we keep saying. It ain't a cure. The virus can mutate. HIV is also several different viruses according to that video. So vaccine being developed would be much same result as we seen with COVID. Reasonable precautions must still be taken. Exactly.
Exactly. And that
we're not mad at people that's taking the COVID vaccine, and I wouldn't be mad if you took that vaccine.
Well, you know what?
I'm just getting bombarded and I'm getting tired. Y'all just throwing out. That's how.
But here's where it is for me, because see, just like we just said, we have been dealing with HIV, AIDS, cancer, diabetes for years.
High blood pressure, all of it.
Okay, years and years and years. And though this is hopeful that they're looking at, this little vaccine for clinical trials, I want to understand where this is going to go with as far as the PrEP treatments and stuff are concerned. Because remember, they were pushing PrEP on everybody. And they still are.
Yeah, I keep seeing the commercial. Not as much as we used to see it when it first came out, though.
Child, no, right. We don't see the commercials, but honey, trust me, every organization.
It'd be like step up.
PrEP,
The guy would be like, kings, queens, and us in between. That's why I know the commercial, because I love when he say that part. He be like, the kings, queens, and they all in between.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. I like it.
Okay, and a lot of that, we're here, and this is really, really cute. But I would love to see what they're going to do with the PrEP thing or whatever. And with this vaccine, are they going to do like they did with the COVID vaccine, push it on everybody who's sexually active and carrying on, and push it the way that they were pushing PrEP? Because when PrEP first came, I swear every doctor that I had wanted me to get on it. And I told them, I said, no, I'm not there yet. I'm like 95%. But I need to be 100% there, because it's too convenient for me. Everybody got it. Y'all pushing it on everybody. Hell, they like dope dealers. You need to get this PrEP. You need to get on PrEP. Oh, are you sexually active? You need to get on PrEP. You need to get on PrEP. We offering PrEP free. It's over here free. Somebody paying for it. It ain't free.
That's the same way they doing with the HPV virus.
Yes, I don't like how they push that too. So when you turn, what is it? When the kids turn
12
or 12 or something like
that.
Oh, I'm so glad my kids grown.
And so with
you saw that when I got, we like. No,
I really and truly see when it feels like you're trying to sell me something. It's when I raise an eyebrow.
And that's what it is for me. Why everybody
keeps saying,
about the thing. I feel like y'all pushing it too hard on me, and I need to get more information and whatnot. Like for me personally, if they don't say some shit like you can't fly out the country unless you get it, I probably ain't gonna never get it.
Right.
You talking about the COVID virus? The COVID. I just we just had our second one last Saturday.
And you look to be fine. Look at you, girl. You look good. So.
Okay.
Actually, I feel really good compared to what I was feeling like before. But I mean, my thing is, I guess how I look at it, and I'm gonna leave you alone after that. But I really feel like that once. Okay, so we had all of our shots growing up. We had all of our shots to go to school.
Right.
When I was in the military, when I had to go to Iraq, they pushed a whole lot of shots. There you go. There you go. That one that we had to get anyway.
Look,
and my thought
yours
was
up there, Red. Go on, show.
Right. Go there, Red. Show yours.
You cover mine up. Look.
We had to get all these shots anyway. We didn't know what they was pushing in us. Yeah. And then I also look at it and say, well, stop taking since the CDC and the FDA have to approve all this stuff. Stop taking Tylenol if you don't believe in anything. Stop taking, because it all has to go through them. They're all pharmaceutical.
Well, you in pain, go get some peppermint oil. It works.
Okay.
Amen. Amen. I ain't mad at you.
But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got a big old bottle of Tylenol arthritis because this sciatica been killing me for the last week.
Okay.
And it doesn't work like it used to because it's been
Your
really
body got used to it.
But yeah, like my body has got loose. But like, yeah, Amy, I was about to say, could you put that back up? Doctors really gave up on AIDS patients before they were even think of doing so for diabetics until research.
Okay. Read it out loud, Nikki. I can't.
Okay. I got it. Doctors in the past willingly gave up on AIDS patients before they would ever even think of doing so for a diabetic or someone with lupus due to the connotation until research progressed enough to get past it being a gay disease. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I got that too.
But you know what else? Let's talk about that because doctors also sickle cell is a people of color disease.
Of color. Right. I was about to say that, and lupus is too. Not many white people have lupus. It's usually black.
So when we
you're right.
When you talk about high blood pressure or diabetes, like I got both of those too, but they didn't care. All they wanted to do is like what I seen when we do our sickle cell research, or I'm looking into other organizations and stuff like that and whatnot. That's why I rock with COSBY'S so much because we like the same age and we still here for something that they said we wouldn't be from when we was kids.
Amen.
This is the thing, because it does not happen to them. They have not given it the research that it deserved. We think about who was giving sickle cell testing back when we was kids. The Black Panthers. Was it anybody else? No, the Black Panthers did. When like now they say they got stem cell transplants, they can give it to people that got sickle cell, right?
Right.
But if you ain't 40, you can't get it.
You ain't gonna get it. I mean, I ain't gonna say you ain't, but I mean,
no, but I'm saying if you over 40, you can't get it. That's it. So I think of it, you looking at me like, well, bitch, you made it this far. We ain't think you really wasn't supposed to live that damn long. So you cool.
And you're
There's
so
a lot
right.
of stuff y'all said I couldn't do with this sickle cell. That's a lie. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I had to scare my life last night. Lily said, "I'm out of nowhere. My body just be hurting, and I'm just really getting tired of it." Child, a tear rolled down my damn eye because I said, "Lord," because Redman has the trait, and Redman still gets a lot of pain. So, and it started happening to Keisha as she got older with all the pains, the aches and pains and stuff from it. And they told her it's her sickle cell trait. So when she said that to me last night, I was like, please don't pass this pain down to my baby. Okay. I said, but you tell me whenever that pain just come from out of nowhere, you gotta let grandma know.
How old is she?
7.
Okay.
And I never asked her mom if they if they said she had the trait or anything, or if they even tested her for it, because she was already sick when she was born. Like she had to have a spinal tap and all that stuff. So that's probably something that they didn't even look for. So I'm gonna make sure that they do.
They usually screen kids for sickle cell now. Well, they do.
I was getting ready to say, and I think that they do it, but like I know that she was really like in danger when she was born, and that might have been something that may not have been done. But I'm gonna ask her mom and see.
Because all my kids have sickle cell trait. All of them do.
I think the only one I'm not sure about, and I don't know how, but Timmy's 34. I don't think they gave him a screening, but he ain't never had no problem, so I guess he are.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But the rest of them.
But they look past a lot of our health. When it comes to that is why.
I was trying to get this on because it's long, and he put this on Facebook. I was trying to get this comment to pop up, and I had it, but then it disappeared. So I want to read that comment in its entirety.
Yeah.
So that we can get that, because that there I think is important.
It comes
Okay. So hold on.
That is why.
I was trying to. So there we go. I want to read that comment in its entirety.
Yes, please.
I'm doubling. Okay, there we go.
What he said is absolutely right. Just because you're a certain.
I can't even read it. It's just I can't. I can't focus. Read that one.
I got it. That is why those who are taught secrets and lies, such as it is my job for those I see going on a path of destruction that I was once on. I must free those who were on the path that I went on. No one said that you were taught certain doctrinations. It does not matter your spiritual practice. Just because you are a certain so-called religion doesn't make you the truth, because you are many things that people think is a truth. It does not mean that one spiritual practice is right. Yes, everybody is not institutionalized. Wait a minute, I just lost it. Where was I at? There we go.
So we got everybody.
Everyone's not institutionalized in their very own souls. Has nothing to do with if you are Hebrew, Christian, or Muslim. Okay.
So what is he? Okay, I'm kind of lost. Is he talking about? What,
I think he was responding to what I was saying, but what I was saying was I'm not any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not any of those things. Yes, I was born into Islam, and I learned my family is very religiously diverse. But I am also a person who finds out my mom was a school teacher. So me learning history and facts about who we were as a people, who we were and what we came from was a part of my upbringing. I didn't mean it on just the religious level.
Right.
I mean it, like what I meant when I was saying to him was, you can't tell everybody, like, you can't believe everything you was taught and then turn around and tell you I'm gonna teach you. Because you can say, okay, we were taught this and I found out this, so let me share this with you.
Right.
Because when I hear somebody say it in that way, that makes me feel like what you're saying is, you know that what you're saying is absolutely right and ain't nobody else right but you. Now that might not be what you meant, but that's the way it came across to me. Like everything you might have been taught was a lie, but it's my job to teach you the truth. Yes, I feel like all of us, whatever we learn, it is our job to pass it on what we learn. But it is not our job to tell everybody that what you know is the truth.
Wrong. Right.
It's your job to pass on the information.
To share information, and then they will determine what works for them. Right.
What works for them.
And that's a very good point, because we a lot of times, and what he's talking about, even like when I consider myself a teacher, because I teach God's word as I know it, as God has been proven to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's still all about reading. What are you reading about? Because everything that you read, whether it comes from the Quran or anything else, is something somebody else has written. So you know,
and whether it's religious or not, whether it's religious or not, somebody wrote it.
It's like going to the doctor, and one doctor's doing like the guy doing research. He's researching, and what he thinks is finding out is right. And some other doctor may research and find out what that research was totally wrong. But that's in their level of what they're doing. It doesn't make
what they're doing, and also this is why we get second opinions, because they ain't always right.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
So you learn as much as you can.
Right.
That's why when somebody argue with me about argue with me about research and stuff.
Right.
The minute they said, but when you look at Wikipedia, shut up. I don't want to talk to you no more.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm Googling. Who do you think wrote Google?
Child.
Yeah.
Wikipedia, understand this, people, and then maybe it's the scholar in us. Y'all know us old folks up here, we've been going to school for a minute for these last years of our life that we've been here. And the first thing they will tell you is anything that you get from Wikipedia is an automatic zero.
Is right.
You cannot use that as a source, because anybody can go into Wikipedia, and not saying that they're wrong, but I can go in and put something on Wikipedia that I found. Dr. Brown can do it, Meech can do it, Red can do it, Derek can do it, and all of us can be putting up what we believe to be right.
Right.
But it hasn't went across any kind of scholarly review. No,
even if you're the scholar, but even if you're the scholar, don't make it right.
Exactly. So that's why you gotta cross-reference stuff. You gotta go in it. Like y'all know when we in school, they say if the damn thing they don't say .org or .gov, You can't use it as a source. Now we know our government lie all the damn time.
Right.
All the time.
But
all the
I'm gonna go to
But
those
there's
places.
always
all the time.
Cross-reference everything.
You gotta cross-reference
your
everything.
sources. You got to back up your sources, baby, because there's sometimes this. You know they always tell you, okay, what's the source on that, honey? Because some sources are not credible.
There was somebody who said,
I actually find that most sources are not really totally credible because just because even like with me, I have my doctorate, but that doesn't make everything that I wrote because I wrote 3 books. Everything doesn't mean that it's in the book is really. That's a lot of this is an opinionation, you know.
Right, it's yours. Somebody said over on that other on a Bigo, we was over there, right? And somebody was giving they were giving a lesson.
I don't understand Bigo.
I know I seen you there last night, but I was about to fall asleep. Dr. Marla, I started to help you, but I was so sleepy. I was like, I'm gonna help her tomorrow.
I said, I don't think I'm gonna do this.
You gotta come in when it's like me and E doing a panel and stuff, and then you'll see, because it's like this. We do it like this.
Oh, okay.
But they were doing a lesson, right? They were doing a lesson, and somebody simply asked them, what's the source I can go look up this information? They blew up. They had a fit. How dare you ask me? Ma'am.
Right.
Because unless something happened in the universe and the creator came down and said, boom, you the answer to all the questions.
Yeah.
How do you get offended by somebody asking you what's the source?
What's the source?
See, when you say something like that, then I got an issue with you because now I don't even want to listen to no other lessons that you
Nothing that you got to
listen
say.
to your lessons in the past.
9 times out of 10, there ain't no source.
Right.
How about that?
I'm able to go back and look those things up. But just because you said that make me feel like you're being deceitful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amy says, so it's been almost 40 years since HIV was first discovered and was just as much as widespread pandemic as COVID is now. Yet there's a vaccine for the current pandemic that's only just now in clinical human trials for the HIV vaccine. Something stinks here. Now get out of my head. Because let me take your glasses right back off. Because this is why
I thought it already had one. I ain't gonna lie, but I thought it already had been done by now.
This is see now that's a conspiracy theory.
Was saving people already, so
okay. That's a conspiracy theory in us because we all been saying that there's a cure out there, that somebody got the cure. It just haven't been FDA approved or it have not been brought over here to the United States.
Now, from what we understand, now listen, government, don't be coming after me because I don't know nothing about it. But from what we understand, it was a few people who said that Dr. Sebi cured them.
Right.
I heard that too.
And I don't mean no harm.
I heard that too.
I don't mean no harm. But what year was it when Magic told us he had HIV?
Right.
Thank you.
But see,
but I always felt like Magic had somebody. Is this like Trump having?
I don't even know if Magic even had it. If they said Magic, either Magic you got the cure, or your ass just took all that money to say you had it. I don't know which one.
I don't know, but what I would think is he went over to Switzerland. I remember him saying that he had went overseas for experimental treatments and carrying on when he first got it. Okay. And well, I should say first diagnosed. That doesn't sound right. He first got it. When he was first diagnosed. And because he had the coin to do it, you know, he was able to go and go to other countries and this, that, and the other. His doctor talked to that doctor and carried on.
Went to Switzerland.
Everybody doesn't have that particular luxury. And so it became a question. My whole thing is this, and I think this particular story is why when we talk about the vaccines and carrying on, when folks always ask, why is it that you don't want to take it? And I tell folks, because they did this too quickly. Just as Amy said, we've been dealing with HIV for the last 40 some odd years. Now we have gotten close. The medicines have gotten much better. A lot of people are not dying and carrying on. Right. They're not as toxic as they once were. Okay. So we have improvement. Now you're talking about a vaccine. And see, this is why I'm with that we're on the vaccine craze. It's bothering me. Because now all of a sudden you have the first in-human clinical trials of an HIV vaccine that you're now going public with, because we done rushed these damn COVID vaccines that's still not FDA approved. They are approved for emergency use. Now, I want folks to catch that. They are approved for emergency use. Okay? So, all right. But now y'all been dealing with this for the last 40 years of HIV. Y'all been playing with the science with it. And you're just now at a point to where you're able to clinically test the vaccine. And we've been asking for this vaccine forever.
And think about how long it took to get a regular flu vaccine.
Say that again.
A regular flu vaccine. That vaccine, a lot of us still get sick if you take. I don't even take it no more because I would get sick every time. Every time I got the damn shot, I want to get sick as hell.
Right.
But I know that that's not for everybody. Most people get it because they used to be like, because of my sickle cell, they wanted me to have a flu shot. And what is it, every other year?
Pneumonia.
Right.
Me
Now,
too.
so the thing is, it took y'all that long to get a regular flu shot, right? Are you saying it was easier to do the COVID shot because you already had the regular basis for a regular flu?
Yeah.
Because I need to understand.
Yeah.
If that's the sense y'all trying to make to me, then okay. But I just think that COVID was just too.
That is though, because it all is viral. You got to remember the difference between viral and stuff. And a lot of the COVID, a lot of the flu vaccines, a lot of the symptoms are really the same as COVID.
Right. They just
so they were able to take it and actually make it better or make it fight better or whatever. But I get it. I mean, me, I feel like.
And we talking
like
about that HPV thing too. That's
the HPV vaccine was pushed. Also, young women experienced several side effects from it because doctors weren't educated on the vaccine in order to inform patients. Exactly, because I remember that how old were we? We were in our teens, late teens, early 20s when the HPV became big. Because I remember Oprah Winfrey.
No, it ain't been that long ago, because you in your 50s, right?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh, because I mean, not about you, but no, it was more like my oldest daughter. She's 35 now, and I remember it was when my younger daughter Jasmine, not this one here, but Jasmine was in high school when it first came out, when they was really pushing, because I had to sign it.
Right, because you
cool about it, and I was like,
what year was that?
That would have been in 2000, and she graduated in 2009. So about 2006, 7, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's when they was trying to get us to do it for Keisha.
I remember them. Okay, that's when they was starting to push it but I remember Bette Midler being on Oprah. Okay, and they was talking about cervical cancer and all of that, and how this HPV virus was good for young girls because
to prevent them from getting cervical cancer. Yeah.
To prevent them from getting cervical cancer, especially if they were having sex at an early age. That I remember just clearly.
But it's also probably because of I ain't trying to be funny when I say this, but the Caucasian people they probably had more information about it than us in the poor.
That's something to consider, because you may be right. You may be right with that one, because but I remember that on Oprah, just as plain as day. But wow, okay. You know what? I had to remember. This is 2021, and I'm talking about this because I'm seeing it like it was just recently. But you might be right. That was probably the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because my daughter's Keisha and Cole about to be 31 and 32.
Yeah, it around that. Yeah. My brother, the one I'm talking about.
I'm not signing that shit. I don't even know what the hell that is. I'm not signing that.
Okay.
That's where I was too. Like, And first of all, you ain't supposed to have no sex, so whatever.
Right.
If you don't get out my head, I was about to say that, but Meech has started talking after the last thing. They are not the scientists. They are the doctors. You have to wait for the scientists. So doctors get scared. They don't know. They just pushing whatever.
Right.
And right, that part. I think what no one seems to realize is that while doctors are highly educated on treatment and diagnosis, they are not chemists.
That's right.
The drugs that they are pushing.
That's
Pharma
what I said. My
companies
husband,
provide bonuses to hospitals.
chemistry. He
Right.
did chemistry.
Pharma companies provide bonuses in hospitals, to hospitals and doctors for medications no different from the bar business. And I'm telling you what I know because I've watched my doctor sit up there and do that shit.
Listen, y'all ain't never been sitting in your doctor's office waiting room and the people from the pharmaceutical companies come in?
I used to do that. I used to do that in the military.
With the samples and stuff of the medication.
Yeah.
I used to work in the OR. I used to work in the OR when I was in the military, and we had pharmaceutical people always coming to our anesthesiologist, and then they would hand out pens and stuff to us. And
they would get. That's what I'm saying. If you've been in your doctor's office or something, wherever they done came in, they leaving all kinds of little stuff. They leave their little displays, and they can we put this display right here?
Right.
Worked in the doctor's office too. Y'all know I worked in mental health, but I've also worked in the doctor's office as well. So
that's right.
It's up to us, the patient, to explore as much information as we can on the medications we take, the diseases, disorders, disabilities that we have, because doctors aren't going to provide information unless specifically asked. Especially now when they only give each other like 6 to 8 minutes on the patient in the hospital.
Right. And remember when we talked about this last week when we were talking about the vaccine? And I said, you guys, for me, I would probably feel safer going to get my vaccine from my pharmacist as opposed to one of the drive-up things, or if you see more than one doctor, your pharmacist has all your medication. And you can go in and ask your pharmacist, out of all the things that I take, is there anything that will harm me with getting the vaccine?
Exactly.
I would trust my pharmacist before I trust my doctor when it comes to stuff like that, because they know the medicine. They are trained to know what those medicines are, what they do.
Right. That's right.
And yes, lupus and sickle cell are definitely more people of color. My mom has lupus and is Filipino. Doctors have her all fucked up. They misdiagnosed her with hypo and hyperthyroid until they finally radiated it out before they were like, "Whoops, you have lupus." Wow.
Lupus is a very hard disease to actually know that that's what it is, because a lot of the symptoms are so similar to a lot of other stuff.
I was going to say about people who got fibromyalgia.
Right.
Their symptoms are like my symptoms.
Yeah.
The pain is extreme. My little cousin one time.
Yeah, I went through that too.
I was so sad for her because they had her on so much stuff. Like I said, when they tried to have me on all that stuff all the time, and she really was. It was like that doctor tried to say, "Oh, you're not addicted to it. Your body just dependent." Bitch, it's the same damn thing.
Right.
She got addicted to that stuff, and then it's like people get addicted to all that pain medicine.
Yes.
And you treating them like they drug addicts, but you forget that you got them all on there instead of trying to figure out other things. That's why I say, even though I was mad at Piedmont Henry for leaving me in the waiting room for 4 hours in a full-blown crisis, y'all ain't even put me on a bed with an IV to hydrate my cells to lessen the pain. 4 hours. And I left and I went home. Those 4 hours, I felt like the Most High told me, you can do this. You don't have to go get that medicine every time you in pain. Yeah. You don't want it, you don't need it. And I told y'all my story before. They put me on all that stuff and I said, I'm not no drug addict.
That's me.
I don't want to be addicted to nothing. What y'all not gonna do is have me to where I cannot function. They say, well, you're not addicted to it. Your body just dependent. Bitch, that's the same thing.
It is.
You think you're talking to some uneducated person?
Your body is just
addicted, dependent. That's the same thing.
That's a play on words all day. Okay.
But that's what they tell you, because that's what they do with me. And I'm just like you. I have the same testimony. I stopped taking a lot of stuff, and it's like, you know what? I'm not doing all that.
Okay.
Because you cannot function. You will be in bed all day not functioning.
I was. You guys. They had me on a fentanyl patch.
Oh yeah.
Cotton pills. And Percocet for the breakthrough pain.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got Percocet up on I got Percocet that I got it up in there for days.
And I think that's why disability said that I was no longer disabled, because I stopped taking all the stuff. So I wasn't being all doped up, and I didn't have to go get no pain management all the time. That's where I should have kept going to go get it, just not to.
I was just, but see, I mean, let's be, well, praise the Lord. But yeah, don't never tell them anything.
Exactly, and I know that's where I'm at. But at the end of the day, it was like, you guys, I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking in my strong head, like, you trying to make me be on this stuff. And I remember it was when I first moved to Georgia, and I said, I told Marley, I sat up in the bed and I said, what if one day the insurance say they're not paying for all this? I worked in mental health long enough, and I worked in almost every facet of it. So yes, I worked in the drug and alcohol part of it. I said, what if one day my insurance say they're not paying for this? Am I going to be out on somebody's corner trying to get some heroin? Because that's what all those opioids are. Right. And I proceeded to get off all that stuff. And I said, the only time I will take this is if I am in total,
yep, me too,
pain, and I cannot take it no more. Like Meech, remember when my doctor said, you're not leaving here.
Right.
She would not let me leave the doctor's office.
Right.
I was like, Meech, I said, I don't want to go. It's COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to go to no hospital. But, and then it's the way that they treat people that have diseases like that. They don't know who the drug addicts are and who don't. You know what I mean? If you really need it. So now you got certain hospitals that will treat you like crap.
Yeah.
And and one time, like I said, it was Pete Henry. And for another time that I went, and they shot me up with Dilaw and then sent me home. And my friend Nadira, like my sister, I was telling everybody, that's my sister. Nadira is an RN. And I called her. I said, they sent me home. She said, what did they give you? I said, they gave me what they usually give. She said, they shot you up with Dilaw and then they sent you go home. She came in the hospital, raised all kinds of hell.
Okay.
She got the charge nurse. She got the nurse, the nurse that's overhead. All the nurses in the hospital that don't even be on the floor. You know, the nurse that work in the office that's over everybody. She went off. Say it again.
I said before, and I will say it again, abolish the lobbyists. These bastards are the ones that convince Congress of every bullshit decision, from their heartbeats bill to keeping smokers indoors up until 2005. You're kidding yourself if you think they aren't pharma lobbyists suppressing research for HIV.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe that all day.
I believe that.
I believe it.
I do believe that. Yep. Some of my mother's work trips out of state had a nurse clinician, as a nurse clinician, were based on promotions related to medications. Wow. Okay. My dad is going through all of this now with the VA and the bulging disc in his back, but he has been researching alternative medicine for over 50 years, so he already knows what to do. What to get for long-term healing. Okay.
That's exactly, Leah. And that's what Red had told me the other day. Like, I had bulging disc in my L4, my L5, and Red was looking it up for me, and he says he feel like I probably done ruptured something else and got another bulging disc, because whatever it is laying on that sciatic nerve. Because for the last couple of weeks, my nerve at the bottom of my back, at the very top of my buttocks, has been inflamed.
Yeah.
I have to ice heat. It's been, I can barely walk around.
Okay.
And then you got to watch how you sleep and put pillows the right way, because
God.
That I think I need a new bed too. I told all my kids, I said, when y'all blow up, whoever blow up first, Molly gonna say, I know you want a house. You want a house. I said, I do not. I want a Craftmatic adjustable bed with the heat and the. I swear to God, I told them that a couple weeks ago. I want a king size Craftmatic. Y'all know I gotta have a king size bed. I just can't not have that. King size Craftmatic adjustable bed with the heat and the massager thing in it.
Okay.
I hear.
Come in, but Israel, hold up, baby, because my eyes, I'm sitting here fighting.
I was getting ready to say it's time to go. It is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and my eyes are going.
This Cosby situation.
Yeah, he ain't gonna go to no thing because he feel like he ain't do nothing wrong. Can we talk about that tomorrow? Because we talked about it earlier, Dr. Baller.
Yeah. No. We didn't talk about it here. We were talking about it off camera, but we will get into that briefly so that you could be briefed up on it. He will deny parole.
I really, I don't blame him. I wouldn't accept nothing if he didn't. Me
neither.
Right.
Me neither.
We'll get into that tomorrow because my eyes are heavy. Ezra, I'm gonna bring you in, sweetie, tomorrow if you still want to make your point. Because I know you want to be understood that you are still a student of life and carrying on. And we're not trying to dissuade you from saying about your idea of teaching. What we're trying to do was to expand the language. Because what it is, even though you are a teacher, most of the time, teachers are put into situations or criticized one way. It's kind of like how religion does. Like the Jehovah's Witnesses will tell everybody, honey, well, we the truth.
Right.
And that is only how many people get to go? 144,000?
And only 144,000 supposed to be getting in there.
Baby.
Well, then that means Moses and all of them already done took up our spot.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
That's how I look at it. We don't have no spots. What we here for?
So what happens is, oftentimes when we want to say, listen, I have information that I want to share with you that can either broaden your carrying on. Right. I think that's what you were trying to say, and I got it. But
and so did I. Please understand I got it too. But when you read it in the text, sometimes other people may not be able to get that because it's tight.
Well, that's why I got to teach folks this, and then you said don't believe the teachings because such and so. And so when you say don't believe the teachings and then say, well, I got to teach you, that's a contradiction in itself. Right. Even though that wasn't what you were meaning, because we got that.
Yeah.
You're also saying that, those who I see or sound like they in bondage or carrying on you, and we all know what that is because you hear folks say some stupid shit. There are also times where, you want to enlighten them and like, listen, this is what I'm finding out. I have come into this enlightenment, or we do it here all the time,
Right.
That wasn't working for me. What I found out was that if I took this, and this is what had worked.
Right.
And or you would hear me say, let me give you this offering. I'm gonna offer this, and you do with it what you will. Because it may not work for you. Maybe it was just for me, and I know that's where you were going.
Right.
The point we were trying to make was when you sit down and say, okay, you can't believe the teachings, but then I'm gonna teach you. That was
you don't know what somebody else may have learned.
Okay, right.
They might be knowing what you know.
Right. So on that note, honey, my eyes are getting heavy, and I thought I was sitting up here reading, but I'm like, oh, did my eyes just close?
They did.
Okay. So and then and part of this too is my allergies, and I really need to get to a doctor because I'm like, my eyes, that I can see, and I got my little glasses, but whatever this is,
nice too. I meant to tell you.
Oh, well, thank you, darling. Thank you.
Oh, yes, yes, God. Look, I got insurance there. I'm going to go get these eyes together.
Okay. So we're just on to something, honey. So we're just trying to get it all together.
This is the first time in my about to be 51 years that I did not have insurance the whole year.
Girl.
Like in Georgia wouldn't even give me the welfare kind of insurance.
No,
the shade of it all.
Georgia didn't open it up when we were going through the affordable health care stuff.
What they told me was,
well, y'all know who y'all governor is. That's why.
Ooh,
well, at the time it was governor. It was Nathan Deal at the time because Obama was president, and Governor Deal at the time he flat out refused to open up Medicaid here.
Right, and I was like, but I have a pre-existing condition. Like I'm coming off of disability. They didn't care. They said you don't have no dependents. You don't qualify. Said,
right.
Wow. That's the shame of it all. So I could just come in here and die. Y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm a student. If I tell you I'm a student, I'm a full-time student. And I'm not a full-time online student. Until COVID, we was up on that campus bucking it back and forth every day.
Yeah. Okay. So on that note, honey, you may finish all of your crumpets, darling, because the tea has been dished and you've been dishing tea, darlings. With Big Meech and Aunt Nikki and the big guy ally over there, big red fella. Also came up in here, honey, the lovely and forever effervescent, the Dr. Evangelist, darling. Dr. Marla Facey have come up in here. And then we also had your boy Jerry was in here for a spell as well, honey, representing the Nighthawk Network. So,
Yes,
honey,
God.
if you love us, tell all of your friends, honey. But if you hate us,
Go ahead, doctor. Go
tell
ahead.
all of your motherfucking enemies, honey.
Every last
Okay,
one.
but do know this. Everything that we're doing over here, honey, any way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything will move forward. On that note, babies, we're going to let y'all get back to y'all Saturday night. No, it's Friday. Wait, it's Friday. See?
We old. Don't worry about it. It's
Oh,
Saturday. It's
shit.
Saturday. It's
Okay.
12:56. It's 12:56. It's Saturday. You
Oh,
good.
it's Saturday for real. Okay. Oh, you know what? Oh, wait. Because it was the 28th. I did not wish Gladys Knight a happy birthday because Gladys Knight, Big TT, has just turned. Her birthday was on the 28th. Y'all know
Well,
my
I did not know
birthday
that
was on the
Gladys was.
24th. And yesterday, the 27th, was my niece, the first set of grandbabies, honey, that came into us. Diamond and Keenan, they turned 26 yesterday. So
My
there is
mother-in-law was yesterday as well. Had she still been with us, she would have been 77 on Facebook. I said, "Ooh, Lord, we
Oh,
need you
and
now." I hope you.
my aunt Mary Ann, I keep forgetting, she and my niece and nephew had the same birthday. And had she been still here, Mama just turned 71, so she would have been 85.
Ooh, I just forgot all daggone day on Friday. I did not write my little brother, and I'm gonna send him an email.
So you know that there was
He at the college.
and
He down
also
to
good.
the. He at one of the colleges, but Friday was his birthday.
Oh, okay. Good news for those of you who are Stephanie Mills fans and Melba Moore fans, honey. Child,
Now you know you gonna get what you call them to come up in here.
my big sisters, honey, my sisters are collaborating on a project.
What? Wait. What you
I don't
asking?
know what it is yet. They can't talk about it yet. But I just had this confirmed with Melba herself. She said, "Yes, we are, and it's coming soon."
I ain't talked to her in a long time.
So that there is that. So, honey, we got a new collaboration, and then Stephanie has a new single.
All right.
Do the Right Thing that's coming out on Juneteenth.
Oh,
we gonna celebrate that down and
Okay, so
down
honey,
to
when I tell
Daytona,
you,
honey.
yes, honey, and yeah, you're
baby.
right. Yes, honey. Mama Patty's birthday was on the 24th, honey.
Yes,
She and Gladys
it's
have
our
just turned the
season,
same
honey.
age.
It's Gemini.
It's Gemini season, children.
Yes.
So having said all that, honey, we're gonna let you guys get on. I told y'all we've been dishing some real good tea today, honey.
Real good. You guys, I told y'all it's my season, right? I'm accepting all gifts. Y'all see that? That's my real cash app. June the 6th, your girl will be 51. I don't care. I take big and small. Hellos, happy birthdays, all of that. It don't have to be monetary. I'm just saying, show your girl Aunt Nikki some love. I will be 51. Y'all see me taking these braids out because I'm getting.
You said June 4th?
June 6th.
That's okay. So on that note, my darlings,
bye guys. Yes.
And child. Scene.